James
Fucking
Norton, do you
Lugal,
ever fear
man.
death? James Norton, do you ever fear
all
death?
over the floor. God damn it! Welcome everybody to another episode of Kings of Pop Culture. Joining me this week, we have the man, the myth, the wolf. Yeah, and when joining us is the one who assembles those lists every week, the Texan, the All-American Texan, right here. Look at him. There you go. There you go. Look at him. It's what he does. God, look at that shirt. It's great. We love it. We love to see it. And of course, me. Now, welcome to a brand new stream, everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying an amazing start to the new year. January is almost done already. Time has flown like that. To the 7 people already watching, smash that like button, people. Spread some love, my fellow chosen familia. Leon, hey Leon, how are you, bro? Charlie, Bless, Mystic, Darth Prodigy, Forever Red, myself, Jermaine, Cobra Kai World. How are you all doing? Welcome to a brand new stream. And it's crazy, you know, like nearly January is done. It's almost finished completely. So shout out to the New Year's resolution squad, because if you started your resolutions and you've done nothing else with them, you're almost out of jail. Like, you're almost there. Like, you've got maybe 9 days and then you no longer need to stick to them anymore. So you're in the clear. For those who actually set goals year round and day to day on a day-to-day basis, we're going to get it this year. We're going to absolutely get it this year. We're going to crush it. And without any further ado, Danny, read out the... remember, February is a short month. It is indeed. It is indeed. Read out the list that you have constructed for the stream, sir. Let's get this show on the road.
All right. So let's get straight to this. This one is actually a different list. Like, I know everybody in the chat, where's the Marvel DC? Yeah, we just took a break for just one day. Yeah,
we took a break from Marvel and DC for once, and we're the only ones here.
Anyway, so, like, we're just going to go over this money in streaming part 2. Some of the guys want to talk about this thing again. And so, we're going to hear Adam's point of view on how he feels about it or whatever. Yep. We also got Scream 7 in the works. So that one's going to be pretty good or whatever. Also,
talking baloney.
Also, like, with the also on that, we're gonna capitalize on just not on just Scream. We're just gonna talk about the horror genre franchise in general. Mm-hmm. Of course, we got to talk about the 25th anniversary of Sopranos. And guess what, chat? We're gonna have a Q&A at the end where you ask us anything. So a lot of people say
within reason. Okay, within reason.
Within reason. Any other thing
like, hey, what colors are on the rainbow? Like, don't do that.
Yeah, what he said, pop culture related. Other than that, Mr. Jacob or Adam, whoever wants to start this part.
I suppose I'll leapfrog us into it, and then Adam, if you want to like piggyback and take over, you can. But for me, in terms of what we spoke about last time with the whole money and streaming conversation, it was really, I found quite eye-opening, because don't get me wrong, it's not a subject I know a whole lot about. And this is what you'll get when you come to this channel and this space, ladies and gentlemen, is when I say I'm not fully knowledgeable on something, I'm very much aware and I own it. So it's been nice to sort of learn a bit more about it as time goes on, and why these companies are struggling financially, and why streaming service, like the double edges to streaming and the disadvantages, and where we're at in the streaming wars. Because again, like I've been saying for a good few months now, the streaming wars are in full force, they're in full effect. And it's almost like there's so much stuff happening with these individual companies and so many moving pieces, but there's a domino effect. One decision from one will affect the other. So Adam, I know that me and Danny spoke a lot about it last week, but what's like your consensus? Like, what's your sort of like stance on no money in streaming? Like, how do you kind of feel?
No shit. Of course there's no money in streaming. Like, think about it, right? You're paying what, like $5.99 for a library of movies that are probably costing them millions of, or over thousands of dollars or pounds wherever you are located. And they're not making it back, and that's why we're getting the ad tiers now, where everybody's got advertisements so they can make the money back, because they're clearly losing everything. Because unlike a TV subscription where, you actually get a bunch of channels, you get a bunch of actual decent stuff, so you were willing to pay for it. What do you get when you pay for
streaming?
What do you get when you pay for streaming? If you're in the UK, you get highly fucking limited on your content, but you can barely watch stuff because of copyright laws. Thank you. If it's not that either, it's also the simple fact that it doesn't surprise me it's not making money because, like, let's be real, right? In the UK, right, Netflix, right? Sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be bad. It loses a lot of good shows, and then it goes over to a streaming service. No surprise here, that isn't in the fucking UK. So people like me and Jacob are stuck having a yo-ho-ho our life because, you know, there's nothing really else to do to get those sort of shows, you know, unless you go out and buy the physical media, which if you're in the UK...
Which my good friend over here really, really thoroughly enjoys.
Yep, I'm the same. But in the UK, sometimes it's even impossible to get it on physical because America gets all these awesome releases. Like, hell, trying to get their original Halloween trilogy, even on Blu-ray over here, is impossible. But Danny's side gets an entire box set with all of them in it. And it's like, what the hell?
It's not fair.
It's not. So, you know, like, it's not surprising. Also,
once you start
annoying your fan base, Disney Plus, Netflix, especially these two, once you start going all political and trying to shove political bollocks in our face, we're not going to care. And a lot of the average public, let's be real, they don't care about that stuff. So,
well, it's like I said last week, just to piggyback off what you're saying, because this is a key part of the conversation. This is a cornerstone of it. It doesn't matter if you're a fan. That's irrelevant. It's what these streaming services want to do is cater to the casual audience. They don't care. As I said, there could be fucking World War III going on outside. We will still show up for things that we're invested in. We will always show up. Whereas in this case, they want to attract the casual viewer. They want to attract new fans, new viewers. It's not about the returning fans because you're going to be there no matter what. It's about grabbing in the casuals. The minute you can do that, money. Like, we don't necessarily matter as much as we think we do. But do carry on before I interject.
Yeah, that's fine. Though, see, that's the thing. Like, for me, like, when it comes to streaming as a whole, right, there's so much stuff on the services that no one watches, and the stuff that they do decide to keep, you've rewatched it about 1 million times. So what's the point in keeping subscribing? The only reason why I even subscribe to Netflix at the minute is until Cobra Kai ends, and after that finishes, I'm gonzo. Like, there's no reason for me to stay subscribed.
Also, Netflix have this obsession with putting Karate Kid on there and then taking it off every time.
Yep. Or is it like that's the same? It's like Dawson's Creek was on it for years and years. I finally got around to watching it. I rewatched it like maybe like 6 times in total, and then they just got rid of it. So I had to go out and find an old school, big, massive box set of the entire season, like every season. And you know how much that takes up in space because I have no other choice because you can't get it anywhere else.
Takes up a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the only downside to physical media. You have to find space for it. And with streaming platforms, you see if they actually had a decent, like, if it wasn't like but actually, Netflix now to get 4K is $12.99 in our money. 13
Sorry, wait, is this a new thing?
Yeah, they put the prices up. So basically, like, the basic tier is like $5.99, and that's with ads, which used to just be the 1080p one. Now that's that's.
You see the irony? We switched from cable to avoid having adverts and stuff to choose and watch specific things without any adverts, and now we're getting adverts again. We're going back to cable.
Yep,
they're struggling so much to where, like, hey, ads, like, we have to pay the bill some type of way, but we're gonna just put it in your fee.
We need money. We're broke because you're putting up shite content.
No, it doesn't surprise me, man. It doesn't surprise me. Like, think about it, right? The reason why cable failed to begin with, right, is because cable started to die out because there's like the stuff that was ending up on TV going forward isn't worth watching TV anymore. You know, when we were all growing up, it was different. You know, you had reruns from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and then you had all your 2000 shows as well, and it was good. It gave you something to look forward to. You were waiting for that Sunday morning cartoon. Now it's like,
you're waiting for that Sunday evening stream.
Yeah, exactly.
And I tell you, and to capitalize on what you said, Adam, it's like I told you guys last week. The only reason why cable ain't dead is because sports keep cable alive. As long as there's sports in the world,
these streaming services on that have tried. Like Now TV has it as well, and all these other things, but they don't they don't do it the same way. Like cable is superior for sports like that, and sports is never going anywhere ever. Like that's timeless. That's forever.
Yeah.
So that's what will keep cable alive, because you can't use streaming services dedicated to sports like that. Like you can, but it's just not viable.
A lot of people are not going to take like
really not feasible.
No, it's not viable the same, and then it defeats the purpose of the streaming network. It's like me saying, like for example, this is what Netflix's original intention was. You stream original content, or you know what, we need to pay the bills somehow. Let's get an advert or two in here. Oh wait, but if you want the 4K version, here's an increased membership. Like it's
ad free.
Yeah, ad free. There's all this stuff now that's being introduced. Hell, even YouTube, when you go on YouTube, do you get like 2-minute adverts now?
That's why I paid for premium.
Like, they're everywhere.
Hey, I'm a premium guy. I'm a premium guy, man. I had to get it, man, because I drive a lot. So, like,
I'm too stubborn. I'm too stubborn. If I click on a video, I will back out the video.
The only reason, to be fair, I even got it to begin with.
In the video, I'm stubborn.
To be fair, the only reason why I got it to begin with is because I was a student at the time, so I got a student discount. So it only cost me it cost me the same price Netflix used to. So then I didn't have, and it just keeps that way for a long time. So I don't have to then watch a bunch of YouTube ads for crap that I've never cared about.
Yeah, I mean that's the only reason why I got YouTube Premium was because usually I drive a lot, and so like like if you got the ads, like you can't even play music in the background. So
That's
like I want
to. Thing I will always give to Americans, right? I would hate to have as many adverts as you do. We don't have as many adverts, but they're longer than yours.
Everywhere. Like
ours is longer.
You have more quantity, but ours are way longer. Like
So for you have an advert every like 10 minutes, right? And it's like, welcome to the ShamWow. Get your ShamWow now. Like, no, bugger off ShamWow. I don't care. I've seen this advert about 10 million times.
Give me that beer.
Bro, like there'd be times when before I had YouTube Premium, I'll be in the middle of a good podcast. I'm listening to Joe Rogan, and then like some dude talking about somebody talking about their protein powder that I'm never gonna buy. Like, listen, dude, if you're trying to get jacked like me and everything, like,
have you heard of Bang Energy?
When I'm sitting here and I'm working and I've got like music playing in the background, sometimes I put on like ambience or something. I had this Star Wars ambience on once, and it's just like the one with Kenobi sat by the fireplace, campfire, and there's like tracks playing. It's nice and mellow, and all of a sudden it goes, hey, make sure you sign up to this brand and get yourself. I'm like, whoa.
To be fair, it's not even without ad-free content, right? The creators nowadays, especially nowadays, they get brand deals, so you don't even you still get adverts because like how many times, right?
They got smart with it. No, they got smart with it.
Right. Everybody in the comment section, please tell me how many times you've heard this, right? So it kicks off something a little like this, right? They're like, oh, wow, I love what this is. But oh my God, guys, have you ever heard of Raid Shadow Legends?
Bro, you just unlocked 50 levels of PTSD. Every single time. It's always Shadow Legends or some bingo site. It's
Raycon, get your premium AirPods, half the price of your premium AirPods.
Get yourself some bingo in there, jump and jive, 35. It's like, shut up.
Like you're listening to your favorite content creator, and then that guy do their pitch. Hey guys, listen. Have you guys heard of Bet Online?
Yes, creative with it as well. Have you guys seen how creative they've gotten with it as well? They're like, before you skip this video, or skip if you're this, and it's like reverse psychology to try and get you to stay on the advert.
Or they do it so nonchalantly, like they carry on their script into the ad, and you're like, you slime mother. Because I'm sick and tired of, like, don't get me wrong, I'm always there for creators getting their bag. Of course, everybody is, right?
Yeah, get your money for sure.
See when there's like 3-4 ads during your video from 4 different sponsors, and it's all like, get your protein powder. You see this is the best bollock cream you can ever get. It's like, why?
The annoying thing, right, is if it's 2 separate adverts that play back to back. One's 5 seconds. You're like, okay, it'll be two 5-second adverts. Fine. 5 seconds goes by. The second advert is like 40 seconds, and you're like.
Yeah,
I'm trying to watch something, man.
It's like because of you guys adding ads, the thing that you thought was gonna make you millions upon billions of dollars, people are just yo-hoing even more. They said, like, screw this.
You're
You know what I'm
endorsing it
saying?
even more so. Like
They
originally,
pressed, like,
it was the
yeah,
whole thing with cable where it was like you had multiple things all at once. But then when streaming was brought in, it was like, oh, I can choose what I specifically watch without ads. Oh, perfect. And now you're going back to that. Like
Yep.
you're going
Yeah.
backwards. Like
Yeah.
we're going back to cable. Long story short, like I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of these companies start doing way more collaborations. It's like we said last week with the whole Disney Plus thing. You know, oh, but Disney's just Disney. But then they got the Fox catalog. Oh, but that's still just the Fox catalog. Then they got Disney.
Because this is what this is how broke Disney is or whatever. Like on the last call with on the last call with Bob Iger, he even said like they're gonna be they're gonna put all their Fox content onto Netflix. So they can
also another thing, right?
Yeah.
Is Netflix is also stupid, right? Because they're the first company that was like, sharing your password is caring, got rid of it to try and get more users.
And then they turned around and said, no, you can't do that anymore.
Yep, and then they lost users. So many people started unsubscribing.
It's because the hypocrisy behind it. It's like, you caught all this on. You're the ones that said it, and now you're like backtracking and going, "Hey, did we say that?" About that.
No, but this is what they did though. They said that you could still do password sharing as long as you guys are in the same house.
Oh yeah,
that's their version of saying like, listen, we know we messed up.
And they're playing Monopoly, and that's their get out of jail free card.
But think about it, right? Think about it from this perspective, right?
That's
say for instance, right, I'm broke as shit, right? I have no access to Netflix, but I really want to watch Cobra Kai, and it gets another viewer on Cobra Kai. Can I use Danny's Netflix? Yes, I can. At one point I could. Nowadays, they would end up banning his Netflix account, telling him that he needs to pay them a fee.
They killed Blockbuster. I love to see it.
So many people don't realize Netflix actually had a DVD rental service before it became Netflix.
Love film.
They had the red box.
Legitimately just got shut down in like 2022. It was still going until then, and no one knew about it.
Me and my stepdad used to go to Blockbuster every other like Friday. We would get a movie, or we get salted caramel popcorn or something, like toffee popcorn or something, and we get a couple of games or some movies. And then we started going to Love Film, and we started getting
Love Film,
right? And then all of a sudden, like Netflix come along, Blockbuster dead in the water, and there's a building where on my high road where Blockbuster used to be. I'm not entirely sure if they've actually replaced that building. It's scary. It's like it's there to stay. Nothing's replaced it. And per this comment, yes, because I freaking miss. Like, I remember doing an assignment in school about shopping centers versus the high street. Like the death of the high street versus a shopping center. And you look at it like, okay, I support my local businesses, blah 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 blah, but a shopping center has everything in the one place. Netflix, for all intents and purposes, is a shopping center. Blockbuster, high street retailer that you support, and I love to see this karma because I have so many fond memories of that.
Think about it this way: the shopping center died as well.
Sorry, that was a bit bitter of me, but
shopping centers also died because, like, over in America, they're called malls, but we call them shopping centers, right?
Malls.
And they've all started to get shut down. And also, ironically, right? Blockbuster was the most fondest memory. Obviously, it's on brand. I have long blonde hair and I look like a skater kid. I legitimately remember renting out Skate 2 for the weekend before school, just so I could try and complete it.
Dude, that game is so good. I remember me and the people in my school at the time. I was gonna say the boys, but they ain't my friends. But we used to like go to Game Station or Blockbuster or Game, and we used to just go
everybody forgot Game Station exists. Like, Game Station was your alternative to Game, and it was the cheaper alternative.
Were going cheap. You could get a game the year prior that was like 30, 40 quid. Was like what, 2 quid?
Yeah.
It was just like, what is this treasure trove, this lucky dip of like assortments?
And then Game got them out of business.
You could get DVDs.
See, like with us, it was like we have Blockbuster, and how many in the chat know what Hollywood Videos is? If you know what Hollywood Videos is,
Jermaine said it.
Yep, Hollywood videos. You had all the video games. You had the video game section. You had your movie
Yeah.
Well, see,
section,
that's
and
the
you had your
thing.
popcorn.
We got a bit luckier. Like we had a bit slightly more options with that because we had Game Station Game, and then we also had HMV on top of that.
Oh,
So,
legendary stuff.
like legitimately, like
How have you been?
for me, right?
Smash that
Game
like
Station
button,
was
people.
the Game Station era was the best for me, right? Because Game
Yeah.
Station, you could get everything dirt cheap. Then Game came along and like got them out of business. Now Game's going out of business because they've just decided
Yeah.
to get rid of their pre-owned games because it's not feasible anymore. So yeah, there you go.
I mean, the fond memories I have with HMV, like I've got like
Oh,
the
dude.
side bags in my thing because my granddad always used to love going there, and he would go and put like the headphones on and listen to music for hours. Like
Mhm.
I'm not even joking. Honestly, Danny, how you look right now with those headphones is exactly how he would look. He would just be there like
Yeah, we used to have those too. Yeah,
And
they'd be like,
and I legitimately just said, you know what, F this, and I'm gonna go and chill by the games area. And they're like, where are you going? What are you doing? I'm like, I'm just grabbing a game. But
or
then-
like, yo.
This is about
we
right.
would, like,
The,
we would buy
the
it for
Scottish
you.
granddad sitting there freeloading the headphones.
yeah, like he would buy it for
Now,
me,
everybody in the chat,
waiting
all
for,
my
like,
American folks that are like roughly around my age or whatever, how many of you guys still remember when you used to go to Walmart or Target to play the video game section, like when you was a kid, just to burn some time off? That's what it was back in the day. Like, I'm telling you, man, those were some good times.
10 likes. It's just the
What's-
nostalgia I have for these places. And
Hmm.
I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, well, back in my day, because then someone says, hey, Jacob, it's evolution, times move on, this, that, whatever.
Oh,
But
yeah, for sure.
Because time moves on doesn't necessarily
And-
mean
and
it moves
also-
in the right direction.
Exactly. And the thing is, time is always moving on. That's normal. Things
Yeah.
always change and they evolve and they grow. That's life. But there's eras, time frames where it's peak. Like it's
Yeah.
not in the chav word. Like its peak is in it's good. Like it's really
Yeah.
freaking
As
good.
Yeah.
its highest momentum, and it will
Like
dip
there
Yeah.
is
from there.
pre-streaming era. I actually prefer it. Like I was saying to you guys the other day,
Yeah.
when you put a DVD in, right? There is
Yeah.
more desire and commitment to watch the whole movie from start to finish because you've
Mm-hmm.
committed to putting the disc in the PlayStation DVD player,
Yep.
whatever. Now,
And the
because
fast
you
forward
can
button's
bounce-
annoying as fuck.
exactly, and you
Yeah.
can't fuck around with the controller. But now, because you can bounce back and forward between so many streaming services, left, right, and center, and up and down, it's just kind of like we're losing the. We've got so much choice that it's taking away the little things of like
Mhm.
this. You know, when you put in a DVD and it's got like, "Hey, coming this
Yeah.
year, Blu-ray," and it's got like a shot of Mr. Bean and Rowan Atkinson, and,
Yeah.
Or even just the simple things as like the bonus features or like the cool like
Yeah.
art that
I
they
mean,
used to
anyone who's
make for
watching
the
this
like
right now,
title
you'll
screens.
remember this. It's like, "Welcome to Disney's Fast Play," or it's like,
Yeah.
we have our heading. Here we go, the adventure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or that horribly annoying piracy video that is like
Yeah.
so
Oh,
fast
God,
paced.
yeah.
It was an action
Yeah.
bug.
Dude.
You would
It's
you
like
would steal
over-
off the high
over-
street,
oh.
would you?
Yeah.
It's just the way the guy.
Would you beat up an old lady?
I need to
Because
find
if you're
that.
beating up an old lady, that means you're still you're doing more than pirating, like stuff like that. I'm like,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
okay, buddy. Like,
I stand by it. My favorite shot of this is when someone's lifting a freaking TV out of the.
Oh
rock.
yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
it's so
I know
funny.
exactly, but I remember that exact video.
Where is it? Honestly,
Oh,
I
the
can't show it.
THX sound as well. Yes, I remember that. Oh,
That
yeah, you could show it. It's just like you probably just have to take off the audio. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like play it because I'll get copyrighted. But this shot right here, where it's like, look at that. You know, it's like eyes looking at him, and then he like grabs it, and then he like slips it into his jacket. You know, it's a legendary.
also,
DVD.
can I also
First
say
of all,
something?
if you're in a blockbuster, they don't even have the disc in there, you morons. Like,
Yeah, also,
Like,
second of all,
what's even
right?
funnier is it does this, and then it just goes to like the static, like grainy black.
Yeah.
It's just like
Also, just a second of all, right? Let's be honest, right? I've known some thievery people in my time. That is not what they do to steal things.
no, they don't go.
That's too clearly in the open.
yeah. It's like they will. Like, I mean, there's.
We're not endorsing
I mean,
this.
I've never done it, but like
We're not
I know
endorsing it,
people
but-
that have done it.
Daddy's pleading the fifth.
Yo,
No, sir.
yo.
No, sir.
I don't
I
like-
would never do such a thing. Totally stealing the gum.
It's just good business.
I do not condone stealing. Don't you steal? I don't like. But the good thing about these old school video stores was like you also got to have conversations with people. Like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
People.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like something as simple as going into the video store and having a conversation with someone, right? You know how like I remember that the stream that was done with Star Wars Theory and Den of Nerds a while ago, and he made a great point. He was like, the way we talk, if I go and say this comic is shit, that's not me saying that it's shit. It's just how you would like how you would talk if you went into it, and then you would hold someone to task and you'd have a debate, like we had back earlier on today. It's like had to say it.
Yeah.
Had to say it. But you would have those conversations, and it wouldn't be like, oh, I want to beat you up. It's just a bit of fun, and it was part of the fun dialogue and the conversation. And now because everything's shifted, we're all online.
Yeah.
And we're all like
Because like and I know you guys will agree with me on this. It's like nowadays when you take a stance on an opinion that's quote unquote not popular or whatever, don't care. Hey, it'd be like that sometimes. Like they think it's people think it's like it's an attack on them, and it really isn't. It's like it's just
It's so much
it's just your opinion.
people take it so much as a personal attack these days, and I always find it funny. They're like, "How dare you say my favorite character?" Like, dude, chill the hell out. You're acting like a child. You should not be acting like my nieces and nephews. Thank you very much. If I wanted to hang out with people like that, I'd hang out with them.
But the thing is, even when you went into the video store, and let's say, I don't know, let me grab something random, okay? Let me just grab something random. One second.
Wrong thing, Jacob. Wrong thing.
Cancelled. Anyhow, so let's say I grabbed this movie, right? Fury. Got this from CEX for £2.50. I think it's a very underrated movie, personally.
Ironically, that's not how we say it, by the way. It's actually supposed to be said as the other word, but we've chose to say CEX.
Yeah, I actively chose to not say.
Yeah. If you guys don't want to know, basically, like just replace the
exchange CEXX. There you go. But if I got this movie here and I'm like a big fan, like I saw it the first time, like, I really want this. £2.50, it's a steal. Someone could challenge me and go, mate, that movie ain't even worth £2.50. And then another person go, mate, that movie's so shit, Do we start fighting each other? No, we just have a banter and a back and forth, because at the end of the day, it's just media. Like, I don't.
One thing I will always call out CEX for is, you see, when you do buy a DVD, I remove that crap, because why do you put so many stickers on a fucking box, man? You're ruining the box. Really grinds my gears. You know what really grinds my gears? When CEX, when they put that sticker, because I've had to remove those things so many times, and you know how many times you get the perfect peel, and then the one little bit rips, and there's just
one
that
little
white
bit just
bit
stays on the side of the. Oh, it's annoying. Do you know? Actually, I'm going to try that right now.
The sticker's just smiling at you, says, "Haha, got you."
Let's see if I can get this sticker off without it being an arsehole. Okay, so we're doing it live. We're doing good so far. We're doing good so far. We're doing good so far. There's a little bit at the bottom there, but we're ignoring that. We're doing good so far. Is this like
you can do it?
Painting. Let's see. I'm not counting.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever take you down.
So you got the bottom one. But what about the top one?
But there you go. That's the only bit and you get a bit like that there, that you have to scratch off, and it gets stuck.
It's like,
and
it's like.
This is the one that's awkward though. It's not the sticker one. It's this one, because you have to get it at a certain angle to actually peel it. I used to rank games like GTA 3, Vice City, Metal Gear. Oh, good times. Hang on.
Oh man.
Look at how finicky that crap is. And anytime you buy a Blu-ray, it doesn't matter if it's a Blu-ray, a game, or a DVD. That shit is on it.
Yeah, that sticker is on there forever.
There we go. Hang on. See?
Still.
Every goddamn time.
It's like you just got to get that sticker remover.
It's stuck in your nail, and then you're getting it everywhere. you watching the Chiefs versus Bills? Nah, I'm not watching that. Shout out to my lovely American contingent. I'm sure they are. I don't
They
know.
will be. To be fair, I'm just not a big fan of the American football because I'm Scottish, so.
Exactly, and I'm English, so partly, and I'm mostly Scottish, so it's like
What is the score? Hold on.
So I prefer a sport that's played.
So other than that,
played by men. Anyway, sorry, had to be said.
I didn't even hear you.
Anyhow,
Cyclops, what?
Fuck. Right, Danny, low blow. Bro.
Go back, say what?
That's not fair. Low blow, very low blow. Kid. Anyway, you know what? All right, fair enough. You saw an opportunity and you took it, but that's a low blow. You make me sick. Shocking behavior, Mr. Watkins. You know what? This is really shoddy.
When he woke up this morning, he was
actually
white.
Embarrassed for you. All right, I'll have to play the clip now. You said it. Hang on, where is it?
Not that hot. When this guy woke up this morning, he was white.
You were white.
Transition that perfectly. But yeah, like it's the memories of like because it's all linked in. Like I don't want to think we're going off in complete tangent.
Yeah,
LinkedIn.
Stores, going into stores and having conversations with people. It's all linked into where streaming has gone and the whole like it's all connected.
Yeah.
The only thing that is kind of like the streaming service did try to do is like, for example, like Prime, we could actually co-watch it with someone in different houses. That's the only sort of social interaction you can really get. But even at that, you have to sit on a call whilst watching it, whilst they're over here, and
then also like we're losing cinema experiences because of like streaming original movies. So it's like the only time you can actually engage with people is when you go to the cinema, and that's provided they don't spoil it on the way out, like someone did for me at England.
Yeah, or like the fact that like even when it goes going to the movies these days, people don't even talk before the movie anymore. They just
it's just silence.
They just sit in like a corner. They don't talk to you. They go in the movie, then they're quiet the entire time. Like they'll sit there and legitimately watch the stupid boom. Can you hear me? And it's like that fucking.
No, it's like
yeah.
On that, like my last two times going to the when I went to Godzilla -1, like I had like the most coolest conversation though. Like, we were talking about the movie, we were talking about like, critics and stuff like that. Like just these three people, random dudes and his girlfriend or whatever, like they watch Godzilla.
And Danny, that sounds like a very funny video.
Oh Jesus. Jesus, man, really?
I'm not gonna comment. Anyhow, my brain just went completely blank. My brain just went.
Really?
Oh. Adam, why did you? I just caught it. No.
You need Jesus, boy.
You need Jesus. Jake Peralta.
Every Sunday, guys. These two. If it's not him, it's him.
The best it is though, you can tell fine well if me and Jacob were in the same school. That school would not like us.
In detention every single day.
I like separating those two. What? This is what happens when you're separated at birth, man. We can't help it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You know when you hear it and it doesn't quite dawn on you till like 20 seconds later? Oh, Adam just said that.
Yes,
see, I'm always like 10 steps ahead before people click on. I love it.
I clicked on quick. I'm like, really, my nigga? And you know when like, oh hey, Lord, I let that one slip.
You can't be calling me that. I'm white. No, you gotta be using that language on me. I'm white, man. That's no nice.
That one slipped.
Oh,
As official cancel Danny Watkins. He called me the N-word.
Next topic.
Jacob said no.
Shut up. What the hell is wrong with you? I'm really asking.
That one just slipped. I'm like, oh well. It's out in the ether.
Wait a minute.
Somebody's gonna clip it and everything.
Next topic. Let's just go to the next topic. I'm drawing the line.
I know, but that's going to kill the mood, though.
Okay, you want me to go on the next topic?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
For,
Right,
to save your.
I like leaving things unconcluded, so just round it off in like a sentence or two.
Yeah, let's round it off. Right, so how I would round this off is, what you doing? Why you being assholes? Sort of shit.
Oh gosh, I can't breathe.
I'm just gonna keep on saying. I'm gonna tell you just straight up, folks. Buy physical media. Take it, just seriously, because another thing about these streaming services is they change their content if they don't want you to see something. So that's my number one thing. So
I'm just gonna sum it up with this. I really hope it gets better. In terms of like the content for us all to consume, sure, but just a standpoint of longevity, like it just, I don't want us to go backwards. We want to go forwards, but it's a very interesting time. It's one of them kind of things where all we can do is kind of sit back and see what happens, sort of thing, and then just hope it doesn't get too effed up. So, fingers crossed. Okay, Danny, what is the next item?
The only time you go front to back is when you wipe.
And what is the next item on the agenda? Next item, please.
All right, let's talk
I'm gonna let
about
you
Gail
guys.
Bedecker.
Next item, Danny.
What?
Are you sure? Do you guys need to laugh? Anything like that?
We good.
Okay.
We good.
Okay. I think since I know I'm a normie when it comes to this franchise, so it is going to be Scream 7. Okay, boys, how do you guys feel? Because the original protagonist is going to be allegedly coming back.
I want to be careful how I approach this because I don't want us to open a political can of worms, because when politics is brought up, people can get very emotional and it can become very tribalistic. So without stating the obvious, I stand by Melissa, and that's all I'm saying. And, again, like I've said before, there is a huge double standard right now because there's a certain person employed on another show that's facing no repercussions who, I'm just going to do that. He looks.
Also, Flash the movie. That is prime example.
Yep, that too.
Also, second of all, for me though, right? I need to get this off my chest.
Well, let's not harp on it too much. I don't want to get demonetized.
I'm not going to harp on it. But what I'm meaning, right, is the reason why I'm not so excited, even if Melissa does come back, because I'm worried that they're just not going to do it justice now because all of the stuff that's happened, unless they get the right company like A24 or Blumhouse. Other than that, there's no chance it's going to be good.
A very good point. They've just, and that's my thing, and that's what I really want us to sort of harp on, is they've just derailed the entire story completely. Because now you can pick up and you can continue 100%. But I think what annoys me is not only the fact that we now no longer have another trilogy, again, is the fact that the sixth movie
Third part as well, ironically,
brewing to something good, really good. And we've not had a bad movie in Scream. Like, out of the 6, none of them are bad. They've got bad decisions and bad choices, but no, you haven't had your Jason Takes Manhattan. You haven't had your Halloween Ends. Like, they're not in there. Scream is
not yet.
Well, not yet. It's very much consistent. This next movie,
Ooh! Whoa!
Fuck!
Hey!
God.
Dang, bruh.
Oh, that was Siren. Oh, goddamn. Ow.
What was that?
Technical difficulties here, folks.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the hell caused that to happen.
Wow. Anyhow, good old technical issues. Happens. It's life.
Happens every stream.
Every stream. Anyhow, I want to say, so basically, the story was building and brewing up to something, and we've not had a Jason Takes Manhattan or a Halloween Ends within the Scream specter or sphere until now. Now, do I want this to happen? No. Am I wishing it to happen? No. But the probability that Scream 7 is going to be good is very minimal, because even if you get Melissa back, there's a lot of stuff you got to deal with now in terms of into politics, behind the scenes, drama, reads, multiple script changes, story changes.
Jenna's not there.
Exactly. Jenna's basically said, look, I'm standing in solidarity with her. I'm leaving. And no doubt in my mind, because if you look at the behind the scenes of Scream 5 and 6, as much as people say, oh, they're paid to do a job, of course they're pretending like they're having fun. And while that is true, sometimes you can tell that, once my camera focuses, you can tell the core four, if you will. So that's Chad.
Are actually good friends.
And the two sisters, they're genuinely good friends behind the scenes. They're really cool, and they stand in solidarity with each other. So if you don't have Melissa and you don't have Jenna, then the two who play Chad and Mindy, they'll probably be out too. So you have no cast. And then if you do a desperate attempt to get Sydney back involved, you then derail the story.
She's still mad that she hasn't got paid yet.
Exactly, because then you derail the story. Now, am I against her coming back in future? My original intention would have been bring her back for 7, and her and Melissa's character work together for the whole movie to take out a descendant of Stu. Like that. That's what I would have done. But and then it would have
Stu's in the franchise.
Shout out to Stu, by the way.
Shout out to Stu.
It would have rounded out the
saga.
It would have rounded out the saga as a whole. It would have brought it right back to the beginning, but it also would have treasured this story, and you would have had the bridge between both worlds, and it would have been great. Now, if you have Campbell back, it feels like a last desperate attempt and a last ditch effort at going, hey, we've got no lead. Come back. It's let's keep it a buck. A studio is never going to admit fault. It's always your guys' fault. It's always going to be the actor's fault. It's always going to be the fans' fault. Never them. They got that big ego. So, like, them apologizing for stuff that's a long gone. Like, when it hit about the mid-2000s, that's when studios stopped caring what people had to say. Like, 2006, 2014-ish. I think for me, what it is, right? Watch Scooby-Doo! Watch Scooby-Doo be the last go face. Yeah. I think for me, what really is the issue for me here is if they try and get Nev back now, it feels like it's a desperate attempt. It feels like it's like, okay, we're desperately trying to clutch something from this, and we're trying to make sure, we're not going to admit defeat, blah, 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 but we're going to carry on and we're still honoring the franchise. It's like, no, you completely pissed on it. And even if they didn't bring Nev Campbell back for 7 originally, I would argue the new guys are strong enough to carry it on without any of the legacy characters now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Gale for me in the 6th film was very unnecessary. Like we didn't need to see Gale there. And the one complaint I have with that film is I don't like that Gale's arc completely does like a 180 when in the movie previous, she's like gone on this character arc of completion and she's still doing the same BS just because then they have another legacy character involved. For me, I would retire the legacy characters completely and just move forward with the new guys, but they've now got new guys. So then what you have to do is either beg and plead Melissa to come back, and then Jenna will come back and ask for big money. That's option number 1. Option number 2, you go
that ain't gonna happen.
Option number 2, you go to Nev Campbell and you pay up money. Option
you need to give her back pay, and you need to give her.
I'll be honest. I'm a massive Scream fan, but even if they brought like Nev Campbell back, I wouldn't watch it. I'm sorry, I just wouldn't.
You reboot the whole thing again.
Yeah, don't, please stop.
And honestly, the thing is, what makes me think that option 3 is very likely is Nev Campbell was very final in saying, hey, look, if the story warrants it and the money's right, I'll come back. Neither of those things are in alignment right now. And if she comes back, that feels like a slap in the face to Melissa, and that's a whole can of worms that they might even want to open. But from the studio's point of view, there's so much money in Ghostface.
It's just good business.
Why don't we actually do something original if they're going to do something different? You see, if they're going to try reboot it, why not do a reboot, but do like a proper origin of how people got the idea of using this mask to begin with? Because we never actually see why they chose this mask.
They could go that way.
Yeah, because that would be more interesting.
I mean, the beauty of it is Ghostface could be anyone, and
exactly.
The thing is, one thing Scream 6 did that I really appreciated was it moved away from Woodsboro and it set it in like, was it New York? You know, and what I love about that is Ghostface in that movie, right? Regardless of what character is Ghostface in the movie, he's coming after you. Like, he doesn't care. Like, he's less about cool suspense. He's like coming straight after you. Like, no F's given, broad daylight. I love that. It freshened it up a little bit while still feeling earned and organic. So if they were to reboot it with the right cast, the right story, it could work and it would make bank. Would Die Hard fans like it? Nope.
No.
But looking at it from the company's POV, they need money.
Yeah. See, for me, like, unless they'd done like what I was saying, I wouldn't come back even if they have Neve Campbell, because to me, I don't care about Neve Campbell anymore. She's had how many movies now?
5.
It's like what they done with Laurie Strode. They kept bringing her back, so every time they brought her back, it had less meaning.
Yeah.
This one, as much as it did a Dewey a bit dirty, I'm not going to lie. So we won't touch on spoilers just in case, because, you know, whatever. But it did touch on the legacy.
Listen, bro, like, it's past the prime date.
Did him a little bit dirty, in my opinion. But other than that, it was like a passing of the torch. You know, it was a passing of the torch. And it felt like the torch had been passed. And even then bringing Gale back in the 6th one, it just felt unnecessary to me. It was like,
she also has to keep cheating the one thing that Dewey couldn't.
Let them go off into the ether. Let them be. They're the last 2 left. Like, we don't, because the more you bring legacy characters back, and I know Scream fans are not going to like what I have to say, but it's the harsh reality. The more you bring back a legacy character, you're going to have to consider killing them off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because think about it. If you do a Scream 8, Gale's back to report another story, and she doesn't die, like, how long before it gets a bit boring? Like, it's like, it's enough.
I mean, look what happened. Like, let's just go based off what's been going on in pop culture every time when you bring back a legacy character. What usually happens, chat? What usually happens? I'm not even going to give you the answer. Just go look at what happens every single time. Like, do you really want that to happen? Like, let me answer for you. No, you don't.
I do not want any more of this, please. Can we stop it? And ironically, the next topic is very similar to this, which is going to be fun. But also, just before we do other things, right? This is a funny actual callback, because, you know, if you want to see a 3-parter done right, head over to my channel and you can see that Sexy did with that other Sexy did, and we reviewed a good final movie called Return of the Jedi.
Hell yeah. Make sure you guys head on over there right now. Let me actually, you know what, Adam, get the link to that video and put it in the chat right there. Yeah, I know, Jermaine. But the difference is with the Fast saga, right? Is Fast and Furious is wacky and it's fun and I enjoy it and it's self-aware.
You can always make a fast movie every single time, every single year.
It knows what it is. It's a different kind of movie. But with the horror genre, there's a very specific ingredient to it. And I think Scream 6 whetted people's appetite for something new. And it was a new location, new type of story. Ghostface was on job. He was like kicking down doors and stuff. He was relentless. People are dying for something new. So in a way, as much as I feel really bad for Melissa and co and the story that they were going to tell, the probability that the company either admit that they screwed up, apologize to Melissa and give her hush money to come back, or if you can get Jenna, like if you can get Melissa back but not Jenna, you still have a problem there, because Jenna is like
Jenna brings in the new fans. She brings in the new fans.
A like person that's everywhere. Like, I don't have a good analogy to hand, but she's the modern day person that's everywhere. She's Wednesday, you know, she's all over the place. Scream really had going.
I'll put it this way. You know how Disney always wants to get new fans to come to their stuff? Jenna is that gateway to those new fans.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Yeah,
Like there are
like
people that went to see Scream just because Jenna is in it. And when watching Scream 5, based on how the original movie played out, Drew Barrymore, who was a star at the time, when she was cast in the movie, and this is the brilliance of Scream, when she was cast in the movie, everyone thought she was going to be the lead. Nope, bumped in 5 seconds. And
yeah,
that's the beauty of the Scream franchise, is it doesn't care who's the star.
Yeah.
They're going to die. And
yeah,
I would have had it pegged that Scream 6 may have actually killed her off. But with the way Scream 6 played out, you don't need to. But
yeah.
now it's just like, do you just leave it
She
unresolved?
kind of got. They basically just said like, "Oh no, that's the money right there. We ain't killing her off." Yeah,
Yeah.
like you know what I'm saying, like.
Does this mean like 10 years from now they couldn't pick the rest of this story up and finish it off? No, because never say never in the business. Like
Yeah,
people have said never and then never
It-
lol, the joke in there. People always come back. Like it. Look at
'Cause-
Marvel and the amount of actors that have come back to that and said, "Oh, I would never come back." And money.
I mean, what's it called? Because now there are rumors are saying that, like, you remember those rumors when they were saying that Paramount and Warner Brothers is about to like buy Paramount. I keep on hearing those talks like coming back up again. So like, I guess Warner Brothers really wants Paramount. Like,
Sure.
I'll say this: if Warner Brothers does buy Paramount, then you have a chance to get those guys back because it's a whole different company and
It's a whole
everything. So
different people running the show, and
yeah,
they'd still want money, but it wouldn't be
Yeah.
nearly as much or as much bad blood if it wasn't the original guys.
and I'll put it this way: say what you want to say about David Zaslav, that dude's about making money.
Yeah.
They did what?
That's his
Okay,
job.
we apologize on their behalf for their stupidity. Come back here, let's get this movie done and everything. Like, I'm telling you what he'll do.
Thing. Like, would I be against them rebooting Scream and continuing a new story with new characters, completely separate thing? Of course not, because then you can start a story that isn't connected to our legacy characters. And I think,
Yeah.
quite frankly, Scream 7 was building up to that, and it was going to be a conclusion of this saga, if you will. And then they could reboot it and go completely new. But it feels like it's too early. Like, we're missing a story, that we're missing something. We're missing the third act. Like, we're missing something. It was building up to something. We're missing it now.
Yeah,
I guess it could be one of them things that we'll never know.
yeah,
We might never know. Because the
Yeah.
other alternative, maybe Melissa does come back. Jenna might not.
yeah,
That could be a thing. Maybe Melissa's like, okay, I'll come back, but Jenna's busy with the project, or Jenna is busy. She's in like everything every 5 seconds.
yeah.
Like,
She's in Beetlejuice. She's in Wednesday season 2 coming in or whatever. Like,
so
she just
scheduling-
did another movie with Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah.
Like, her scheduling is going to be all over the place, and trying to
Yeah.
get her back and persuade her to come back and her busy schedule, it's not going to be easy. That's where you have to pay up.
Because what
mean,
might just happen. So, like, I'm gonna say it like this:
Joke.
let's just say if Melissa is hurting for money, that's the only way she'll probably come back and just, do a fake apology. You know how people are and everything. It's like, that's the only way that, it'll get it all reserved and everything. Because that's how. Because once again, studios don't think that they're wrong about something. Like, it's always your fault, no matter what. So, but do you guys want to move on to the next?
We've given our consensus on Scream and where it goes from here and whatnot, and I might do a chosen live during next week talking about it, because I think I've got a few more things I'd like to say with where the story could go. But yeah, it's a very interesting time, and I suppose that leads us on to the next point, which is Danny.
Basically, just to capitalize off of the Scream franchise, I know Adam really wanted to talk about this too. It was about the horror franchise like dying. So, brother, it's all yours. The floor is yours, bro.
Right, so, I don't know if we have fellow horror fans in the chat, because obviously most of the time it is mostly just like pop culture stuff. But the biggest thing that I've noticed as of late as well is the horror genre is dead in the water, really, unless you use something like Shudder or you're going out of your way to find actual decent horrors these days. Think about it, like the only really things that are still going is the Child Play series, which is apparently somewhat alright, and then it went downhill. Halloween is in the trash. We don't know what the hell's happening with Friday the 13th because the rights are constantly getting juggled everywhere.
That's still ongoing. That's been going on for ages.
And then when it comes to stuff like, that's the thing, we've not even got like any remakes of like Silent Night, Deadly Night, or like all these like My Bloody Valentine, like these really good old school horrors. Like there's like nothing like them anymore. And all the horrors that are coming out, let's be real, how many times can you see the same demonic force take over somebody, make them look a bit scary, and then them chasing the kids trying to eat them? I'm sorry, it's no scary. It's been done and outplayed so many times. Paranormal, I would argue, Paranormal Activity, as good of a horror movie as it was, ruined the rest of the horror franchise for good, because all it is now is demons, and if it's not demons, it's some guy trying to be Hannibal Lecter, and if it's not that, it's another version of Michael Myers, which is just a lesser version, or, there's no new horror icons. The only one you could argue is Terrifier, even though I have my own opinions on Terrifier, and I'm not a big fan of that character. But, I'll give him his due. He's the only one that's came close.
He's trying.
Yeah, he's but
let's be real. Like a lot of he's popular, but other than that, though, right? A lot of people would argue that, like, there might be some obscure one, Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Sinister 1 and 2, like, yeah, bearable, but like, I just don't care for that stuff anymore. It's all became played out. It's all the same stuff we're seeing in horrors. It's like, I like Saw, and Saw done really well at bringing itself back again. Yeah. But when it comes to anything else, like Nightmare on Elm Street, they tried to reboot it, like completely went down the drain. Same way Friday the 13th tried to reboot that. I never actually had an issue with the reboot from 2009. It just seems like everybody else just hated on it. But that's the thing.
I thought it was more intimidating than the original. Like,
I mean, but that's what I'm saying.
But Freddy Krueger was never that scary to me. He was just kind of.
He was just a troll to me.
It was just disturbing,
To be fair, like, that's the thing. My brother, I shouldn't really be saying this, but my brother like showed me those movies when I was 8, and I was laughing at them because of how absurd they were. Don't get me wrong, there's still good horrors for their times and things, but there's like a lot of stuff. Like, there's a lot of horrors that obviously I know that I'm not going to go delving into because there's so many of them, but that are so good. But they were all from like the 70s, the 80s, and somewhat in the 90s. After that, there wasn't really anything more like coming from the horror genre, and it's like
they just had bad remakes.
Bad remakes. If it's not a bad remake, if it's not a bad remake, it's a trilogy that never ends because the third act always sucks balls.
The third act,
or like if the company's trying to keep the rights, they keep on putting out another movie.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
Well, what company do we know that does that with certain spider characters?
Yes. Also, the simple fact as well, right? Yeah, you're right. They are making a Mickey Mouse horror movie, which is just as stupid as the Winnie the Pooh one was.
The Steamboat Mickey Mouse thing was open up to the public use, and now it's
even the actual original Mickey Mouse is as well. It's the Steamboat Willie and the original Mickey Mouse, not the newer version, but the older one is. So we're going to get. See, Jeepers Creepers was a good one. Jeepers Creepers started out good, Jermaine, right? I'll give you Jeepers Creepers. It was good. But the rest were, you're right, the rest were complete trash. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you got like a one-off decent horror, and then they got a sequel that was just so bland and boring. Or, like, it's just get to the point where I don't see how horror is going to survive in today's society as well, because they can't get any more gruesome, they can't get any more violent, like they have their rules, like they can never, obviously you don't want to see it, but like, if you want a villain to be a villain, you want him to be evil, he needs to be doing evil things. But horror movie characters, they've become more of a goofy stuff, it's like,
yeah.
I think the transition for me started ages ago. You remember with, and I don't mean to bring up bad memories for us all, but there are more bad Halloween movies than there are good ones. Smash that like button.
Oh yeah,
we're on 10 likes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think the moment for me that really
the cult,
sealed the
Michael Myers in a cult,
was when Laurie's like reaching for his mask, going, "I just need to see," and then like she gets stabbed and then kisses him. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, don't kiss him. What is this? Like,
that's your brother.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Like stuff.
Jamie Lee Curtis says, like, movies,
right? You've got little was it Jamie? You got little Jamie that's just like, uncle, and then it cuts to like him and it's like a tear. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, and the whole weird incest plot, like, no.
And that's it. And as like John Carpenter said, like, listen, He was supposed to only be a mofo that used to shank people. I don't understand why you guys want to keep on making these movies. I'm out.
Oh yeah, Peter Pan also became free reign as well.
Oh, for God's sake!
So
Okay.
just wait
Peter
until
Pan.
Peter Pan's stealing children from people's cots. Because that's what they're going
It's
to do.
like, well,
That's what they're going
that's what they finna do.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's like
You're
horror
ruining
movies have
everyone's
lost
childhoods.
it. The horror movies have lost it because it's not like Ghostface or anything. Only Scream's the only surviving franchise. Like, think about that.
It
Scream.
makes it so much more heartbreaking that it's in this situation that we were just talking about because it's the only one we've got. Like, without Scream, dare I say it, Scream 5, as much as it has its issues, it rejuvenated people's interest in the genre again.
I'm sorry, but Shed, have you guys seen Night Swim? I'm sorry, that sounds like a Sharknado ripoff. What?
Night Swim.
Night Swim?
2024 horror short.
Oh yeah, that's the new movie that A24 came out with, I think. Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake. Is that another one like Cruel and stuff like that, where they just introduce the same
It's
themes
a demonic pool. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? It doesn't even have to be people anymore. It can be a fucking pool.
But, like,
A swimming pool.
all the genres in media, the hardest genre to pull off is horror. Like, it's the hardest one because it's so audience contingent. Like,
It's subjective. Like
horror-
some people are not scared of a lot of things. Yeah.
horror and comedy are the
For
two
me,
ones.
example.
Like, don't get me wrong, sci-fi and I'm not taking anything away from sci-fi or action or drama. I'm not taking anything away, but horror and comedy are so much about audience reaction that they're almost defined by it. If you have a movie that has jump scares and people go, "Oh, whoops," you get a star. If you have something that goes, "Oh my God," then you get maybe 2 stars. But if you have something that's just like, "Okay, I've seen this before, done this a million times." And I think for me, that's a big problem for the horror genre. No matter what IP you throw at it, whether it's Mickey Mouse or Night Swim, it doesn't matter. I think because we've seen every trope done so much. And what I love with what Scream was doing was it was using modern day technology and setting it in our real world. And that's good because you can do that every generation. Like there's always changes. There's always things new. Like I remember while watching Scream 5, like he's unlocking and locking the doors with the tech. And I'm like, that's good. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's up to date.
They're just copying off of each other. And they're like, hey, what's different about it? Well, it's got Mickey Mouse. It's like, no.
Yeah, no, but see, that's the same. It's the same as the failed reboot of Texas Chainsaw recently. Like, that thing was just horrible. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when it comes to a lot of these horrors nowadays, they rely too much on the same thing. Like, you know what a horror needs to do to someone is when they're leaving the theater, they're like, "Oh fuck, I need to watch my every move because what if this thing comes for me?" That is what horrors used to do to people. Now it's like, "Oh my God, did you see that very spooky demon sitting smiling at me through the window?" It's like, "Are you being serious? Like, how's that scary?"
Yeah, they're reusing a lot of the same stuff that we've seen a million times, and I think for me, it's such a shame because out of all the genres, I think horror is the one that gets a lot of shtick. Like, as much as we may have our opinions on, let's say, romances or rom-coms, they have their market. Like, they'll always have a market, always.
There's always going to be women and dudes that are trying to get something at the end of the night.
You're always going to have that market there. That's not going anywhere. Sci-fi, not going anywhere. Action, not going anywhere. Opera, not going anywhere. Drama, not going anywhere. But horror.
Sorry, but when was the last time somebody watched an opera movie? Unless you count Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, I meant like in terms.
I actually got that Blu-ray. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Phantom of the Opera is not that bad.
Specifically, I meant like space opera, kind of like that sort of stuff, drama storytelling. But in terms of the horror, watch Spaceballs. The horror genre in and of itself is just in a shitstorm at the minute. No one's taking it seriously anymore. No one cares about it anymore. And quite frankly, when the Terrifier came about, I was excited because I was like, finally, we have a character that's going to break into the mold of like the elite characters, like Pennywise, Michael, or Jason, or Freddy,
Pinhead,
Ghostface, or Pinhead.
Yeah, Pinhead.
Like finally,
Poor Pinhead, man.
The genre.
They done him dirty too, man. Like they
done Pinhead dirty, bro. Like Pinhead, like.
Of all of this is that even as much as we, let's say, love every genre out there, the horror genre has, let's say, 8 specific characters that are synonymous with it, from Jigsaw to Chucky to Michael to Leatherface. When they constantly get rebooted in shit movies again and again and again, and
people getting mad.
People get bored. We're still like the Jason rights. We haven't had a Jason movie in however long. That's still ongoing.
It's one of those things. With that case, like it's one of those. It's one of those things. They're just waiting.
Do that during the writer, like the copyright things, because it's technically not real Jason.
They're just waiting for the artist to, because they're just gonna wait it out. Like it's like we got more millions of dollars. You're gonna run out of money soon. So like, just go ahead and give it up.
Like there's like so many good old school like horrors that they could remake, which would be very like scary these days. Like Black Christmas, for example, great horror movie about a guy who like lives in a house.
Be black?
Daddy, what? Daddy, Jacob, there's another part you need to cut. Anyway, go on.
Stop being those Pokemon villains, you, with a little laughter at the end of the episode and then disappearing into the ether. Like, stop doing that. You. Stop it.
So, for example, Black Christmas it's about a guy that legitimately he was abused and things, and he like hides in his house in the walls and stuff. People don't even know he lives there. So a group of sorority girls are by the house, and he's sitting there stalking them and obviously unaliving them. Sorry, like throughout the night and stuff. And obviously it's so suspenseful. It's so like a good movie, and like. He used to use the phone to terrify them because that's one of the first movies that actually Scream did copy that from. It's like they got that from this movie, and then that movie got it from like a movie from the 70s. But it's something unique and new, or like even just something that's not been done yet. Because so many movies I've seen as of late, right, especially in the horror genre, they're all demon-esque. It's all like, oh, here comes another demon. And it's like, I'm sorry, but you see, if I see somebody with their head twisting around like an owl and they're sitting there going, I'm gonna get you, I'll be like, mate, what you doing? Move along. I do not care that your head's moving at about 180 degrees. Move along, please. Because it's not scary anymore. It's like, oh no, like legitimately. But like, hell, that's a perfect example, Shin. That is what I would do nowadays because I'm that unscared of demons. If they showed up, I would legitimately do the scene from Scary Movie being like, what's that? Because I just wouldn't take it seriously anymore. Like something like Scary Movie. We don't even get something like Scary Movie anymore in comedy or like comedy horror. What's happened to those types of movies?
Even that got tired after a while. Like after the second one, it just got a bit.
Yeah, but that's because the original writers got booted off it because, the people in charge were douches. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, you need to have more than just demon movies and like a reboot of the same character that's done worse.
Same things again and again.
Because like God knows, and I already told Adam and I already told Jacob, if I have to see another Halloween movie like rebooted again, I'm gonna scream, bro. Like I'm gonna scream.
Right? Is yes, the horror genre is extremely hard to pull off, but there's so many indie filmmakers out there that have a great idea for something that could slap and rejuvenate the horror genre, but they're never given a look in because they're not bankable enough. And that's the problem. And that's really the issue. Is like there's so many indie filmmakers out there that have a wealth of new ideas, a wealth of new talent. Because while the horror genre, yes, you could say this has been done, that's been done, that trope's been done, that jump scare's been done. Oh my God, he's behind the doorway. Like we've all seen it every horror movie. Oh, we're alone. Oh my God. And then the camera turns around and they're there behind you. Oh my God. And now they've changed it to where the camera turns around, they're not behind you. The camera turns back. Oh, they're in front of you. Like we've seen it all. But there are indie filmmakers out there that are really trying to put their work out there, but they're never given the look in ever. And it's part of a larger problem when it goes into originality in Hollywood at the moment for every genre. It's like they're out there, guaranteed. They're out there.
As much as I know some people don't like it, hell, the Krampus horror movie was actually quite decent to me because it was something new, it was something original.
Interesting.
It was quite screwed up, and the ending is like so confusing. It's like a Shining ending, and you're like, what just happened? Okay, cool. And you just have to learn to like understand it or accept it. But for me, like that's what I'm just saying. It's like the horror genre needs something. Like it needs something or someone to come out of the woodworks and make it good again. Make horror movies great again.
Because like I know Jordan Peele tried to do it. He tried. I mean, keyword tried. Like with Get Out or whatever, but
Yeah, it just doesn't hit the same.
it just doesn't hit the like. No offense to Jordan Peele. I bet you're a real cool dude, man. But it's just like most of your stuff don't even scare me, dude. Like it's more of laughable horror comedy, whatever.
Yeah,
So
but at least get some of that back. Like, when was the last time you seen a good horror comedy other than maybe like Renfield? Like, there
Not
isn't
many.
any anymore. Like, it just doesn't exist. And it's like, what happened to those types of movies? Like, they sold really well.
They did. They sold very, very well. Like
And
really.
that's the
well.
thing. You just don't get it. And for me, as a horror fan, especially like an old school horror fan, every like horror movie that I get told to watch these days are so bad, and they're all just very similar takes of, another horror movie you've already seen. Like Happy Death Day, that was one of the decent ones that came out a few years ago.
That was all right.
But even at that, it got a bit too outlandish. It became more sci-fi than it did a horror.
I was so
It's all about
disappointed
time
with the
travel.
new. I was so disappointed with the new Candyman, like that came out like a couple of years ago. I was like, ugh, what is this? Like, this is not good, like
I never
at all.
I don't have a dog in that fight.
This is
Listen,
what I'm saying.
you want to
like-
know what's the funny part? The same person that made Candyman did the Marvel. So
Well,
You
I'm not
for
saying that.
real? That
it's
makes
just-
so much sense now.
Wow.
Oh no.
Something credit scene at least.
Right, let's just move on to the next topic before.
Yeah.
Genuine, like just to round it off, I really do hope the horror genre has a comeback. And
Yes.
for me, like Scream is the only thing that was keeping it on life support. And now that's in that could potentially be in the shitter now. Like, I really hope that the horror genre as a collective rejuvenates itself and gets back to what we know it to be, and gets back to that level of, I mean, that's why even the It movies were so refreshing to me. Like the second one is a bit much, but the first one was very refreshing. It was like a horror movie with a story.
It movies had me rolling, bro. They were
But
funny.
even then, the story as well, like the characters, you root for them, you care for them. Like, so when they get hurt or Pennywise does whatever to them, you feel bad. You're like, you care about them. And that's the other problem. It wouldn't be so bad if you had an average horror movie with average jump scares and all that. But if you had characters we cared about, that would make it even better.
How many times are we going to see Stacey and Kelly? Oh my god, I don't care. Oh,
I'm going to shout out to Stuart as well on this one, because me and him used to roll with laughter at this comment. Oh, I'm hiding from the killer. Let's breathe very heavily. Like, let's make it so known where I am.
Yeah, it's also like it's always like you always get like three type of dudes in these movies. Either it's the dorky guy that's trying to get with a girl way out of his league that ends up getting like done in. It's big Chad the Fifth. He's sitting there with his Letterman jacket on, ready to take on the killer, and he ends up getting done in. And then it's the anti-hero sort of, you don't know if he's good, don't know if he's bad, but he ends up surviving the movie. Yes,
Sorry,
we know.
I had to plug myself there a little bit. I'm the edgy guy.
No, but
It ends up getting whacked at the end.
But see, this is what I'm saying, man. It's just a shame. So, I guess we can move on to the most, I think, would be classed as the most excited topic of tonight's stream, because I know Danny and you are the biggest fans, and so is RJ.
Mm-hmm.
I wish RJ would have been here for this one, but it is what it is. Like, shout out to you, brother. But
he'll be here. He's on his way home, so he should probably be rolling soon. Hopefully.
Yeah. So definitely, we're gonna be talking about the Sopranos 25th anniversary. Tony Soprano.
Yeah, that's right. Telephone tough guy. Put Vito on a phone.
Like, honestly, I'm just gonna jump straight out the gate with this. When RJ first told me about this show, I said to him that I watched Breaking Bad at the time. I'm doing a rewatch of Breaking Bad right now, and I've found a newfound appreciation for the show. And to me, I fully understand now why Breaking Bad is regarded as one of the best shows of, like, the greatest shows of all time. But I never watched Sopranos while growing up, but I heard of it. I just never like got around to it. And RJ was like, "Man, this is honestly one of the best shows you'll ever see in your life." And I didn't believe it. We watched it like week to week. We'd go on like binges. The episodes are really long, but we'd it's really long. But we'd watch through it. And it's one of them kind of shows where it's a slow burn. You don't get to like, just because it's a mafia show, you're like, oh yeah, there's going to be guns and action every 5 seconds. No, it builds
There
up.
is.
Like there is. It builds up to it. Like there's a tension. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen every single second. You know, that's a cool comment right there.
That is
On the
true
board.
though. That is true. Like legitimately, one of the more like quickly interject on that. Babysitter, that horror movie was quite good. And
Yeah.
ironically, one of their first line was, "Oh my god,
Danny, where have you gone?
Danny, we need you here for the
Danny,
context."
get back here.
I'm coming. I'm right here.
Right. So ironically, they do mention that in the Babysitter, which is like King Bak's character, and he's like, "Oh, I'm like the I'm the black dude, and I didn't die first." So there you go, as an actual stereotypical trope.
Oh man.
Wouldn't Deep Blue Sea be considered a horror? Because LL Cool J survived that.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
and he
classed as-
survived
it's
H2O as well.
It's classed as a horror in a sense, yeah.
He
It's a good
survived
movie.
H2O as well. He survived that. But just like getting back onto it, I really enjoy The Sopranos, and if I could go back and watch the show like again for the first time, then I would, because it's a show that is literally physical media. It's a show that is a slow burn, and part of what I said about Breaking Bad, this is what RJ would say if he was here right now. You don't have Walter White without Tony Soprano. Like you don't. The way James Gandolfini played the character of Tony, the subtle
R.I.P.
nuances that may he rest in peace. The subtle nuances that are created throughout the show with Tony's character. It's so deep. It's so rich. It's a really compelling story. And looking back at so many of the scenes, like RJ remembers watching I'm speaking for him here, but he remembers watching my reaction to the ending of the show, and he was fascinated to see what I would respond with. Now, I remember watching Family Guy years ago, and they're like, well, at least it didn't end like The Sopranos, where they just cut a blank in, you know, and then it just cuts, and I was like, now I understand that line and that joke, because at the end of the show, spoilers, everyone, it cuts mid, like you don't get any actual resolution. It's left ambiguous. But what I like about that is it's not done in a way to jerk the audience around, and I can understand people getting a bit annoyed and pissed off at the fact that they didn't clearly resolve the story in that sense. But I think it's left for you to fill in the gaps. And you know, I was like, oh my god, I get it now. Tony's probably dead. Like he just probably got taken out. Like they left it ambiguous for you to fill in the blanks yourself. Especially when there's like the scene of Meadow coming back to take a seat, but she's not there. And then it cuts. It's like, oh,
Don't stop.
And then you just like, great. It has one of the most catchy opening themes I have ever heard with now, you know, and man, RJ, I wish you were here. But it's a really solid show. Highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it. Give it time. Don't go into it and just expecting it to be like, oh yeah, guns every 5 seconds. That's earned. You get there and you care about the characters that are involved and the amount of like twists and turns that you don't expect. And when characters die, they're gone.
Yeah.
Like one blink and they're out. Like that's it. Like there's no like, oh, some characters don't even get a proper farewell. It's just like bang and then done. And you don't see them ever again. Some characters you don't even see what happens to them, but you know. The comic book rules don't apply to Sopranos. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
They go.
Yeah. So my thoughts on this show is like I remember watching it when I was like younger or whatever. I shouldn't have been watching this show when I was younger, by the way. Shouldn't have. Like it'd be like that sometimes when you have HBO. And you knew the password to the code and everything. Just saying. I was a naughty boy. Anyway, this show right here. So I just like bought these Blu-rays because they were like hella cheap. Like I got them for like $27 or whatever. But physical media, man. Like but other than that, yeah, this show is like amazing. I would like give it like a 9.5 out of 10, bro. Like
The writing on another level. Like it really is.
yeah,
Like,
the
it's
right.
not true I could rewatch a lot purely
Yeah.
because when you watch it, it's an investment.
Yeah.
It's not like you're watching it like, oh, I can't wait to watch it. It's more like, all right, I can't wait to watch it. You know?
Yeah. And also, you can't really get attached to nobody in this show. I'm just
That
like,
was
you know.
the first thing RJ told me before I started watching it. He was like, don't get attached to any character. I said, but I want to. And every character I got attached to.
And also, and with this show too, there's no good guys. I'm telling you, there's like no good guys in this show. Like everybody's scum, like scum of the earth. Like from the father all the way to the mother. I'll put it that way. Like Tony's mama. Oh Lord. All right, boys, go ahead and get it all out.
Don't worry, I'm gonna hold it. Carry on, man.
And also, definitely with Tony, there's gonna be moments in the show where like you are going to sympathize with Tony, especially when he's with his therapist. What do you think about that, Jacob?
I think those scenes are very like one thing the scene touches on a lot is mental health, and I think you know, especially for a character as complex as Tony, you learn so much about him, you know, and just the level of like that. One of my favorite moments in the show is when that bad stuff happens to his therapist. Like you remember you remember that scene?
Yeah.
Awfully. And if Tony ever found out, that guy.
He was gonna. He would have got whacked.
Something, but she didn't. Was interesting to me. I was like, she could end this guy's life right now, but she's also aware of that, and she doesn't say a thing.
Yeah.
And I think that is very, very powerful. And I remember the way the scene played out. It was hard to watch, dude. Like, there's some scenes. Like, disclaimer: there's some scenes in Sopranos that are hard to watch. I remember when there was that girl that was getting, you know, can't say it, but that was hard to. I couldn't. I had to look away from the screen. I was like, this.
All I'm just gonna say is, fuck Ralph, and I'll leave it right there.
No, I agree with that he is a character that genuinely is.
He's devil. He's the devil, bro. He's literally the devil. Like you think,
Darius? What's up, bro?
Serious,
my man. What's up, dude? How are you, Darius?
Pretty good. Got situated. Pretty good.
That's good, brother.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it, man.
We're talking about the Sopranos right now, my man.
Oh yeah, great. One of the best shows, if not the greatest show of all time. Up there with, I go back and forth with that and Breaking Bad all the time.
I'm torn. It's like I was saying to RJ earlier.
There's not a wrong answer there for me. Whichever one you want to see is better. It comes down to your personal taste.
So similar but so different.
Yeah, Breaking Bad's more of like a downward spiral, and with this, Tony starts from he already is who he is, but you see.
There's no good guys in the show. There's like literally not even. I'll put it this way.
I know,
like you don't even root for the. Yeah, you wouldn't even root for the police in the show. Like they're considered the good guys, but they're scum too. Like
everyone's scum on every level. There's no good guy here. It's just and I love that because it makes you ask the question of who's really the good guy. Is that a bubble tea?
No. It's a. It was a flavor tea.
I thought it was like little jelly, lychee jellies and stuff.
I do like that though. But it was good.
I agree. But carry on, Darius, before I cut you off.
Yeah, kind of because like Danny's point, like even the good guys in the show, if they don't end up dying, they you see that they're not as good as they pretend. They're not as good as they pretend to be. They look the other way when it's convenient. They throw people under the bus. They lie.
I didn't see that.
They steal. It's
like the amount of instances in the show where a cop will see something and Tony will be like, "Hey, come here," gives him money, pays him.
Everybody's got a price.
Yeah,
everybody
has a price.
And I know people are like, "Oh, but the world is full of love and understanding." Well,
not in this universe.
You like to say people like to say, "Oh, well, I wouldn't do that." It's easy to say that until you got a couple $1,000 in your face.
From a moral standpoint, or in hindsight, of oh, I would never take the money over
$1,000, cash free, tax free. You
say it quite plainly. When an Italian mob boss, right, with his mandem over there, comes up to you, right, walks up to you in his like silk shirt and suave, got a strap in his pocket, and he offers you hush money to pretend you didn't see anything. You basically have no choice but to accept it.
You know how they're gonna say it? They're gonna be like, "You got a bad memory, right?" Yeah, I got a bad memory.
Yeah, you got a bad.
I got a bad memory. Like,
then you may ask, well, what happens to you? It's very simple.
You disappear.
You disappear.
You get it too.
It was you were caught in the crossfires or something like that. Like,
well, you didn't see anything, right? You didn't see anything. You weren't here. You went to go get a donut. Here, go get yourself a whole box of donuts.
I like to think that I wouldn't do that, but hey, in the moment you don't know.
$1,000 is $1,000.
Exactly. $50 is $50. Shout out to Yinko. And you know, I love the way that the show it challenges you. It challenges you morally, and on that, it's a great point because outside of the show, it's easy for us to like analyze these decisions that these characters are making and say what we would do from an outsider's perspective.
It's not that easy.
In that situation, what do you do? And that's what's crazy is the show teaches you sometimes, no matter what you do, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Like you're screwed.
And that's the theme of Tony's character. It's like even if Tony tries to do good, you made so many enemies in this business that there really is no there's no way out for you. You're gonna end up behind bars, dead, or maybe looking over your shoulder for the rest of your life. But are you really alive at that point? Not really.
I was gonna ask you guys because you know I'm gonna bring up an anime, and I know you guys will agree with me on this. Doesn't The Sopranos kind of remind you of Black Lagoon?
Yeah, the mob.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
It does.
Yeah.
Think about it like that.
Mob, yeah.
You know what?
Just the Yakuza stuff for the
mob, very good comparison.
I mean, it's a
great show.
25 26 episodes, guys. You can watch it on Netflix, Hulu.
You told me to watch it and binge it, and I freaking loved it. So I enjoyed it.
No matter, I mean, even in Black Lagoon, there's no good guys. Like, there's no good guys whatsoever. Like, everybody is scum.
And what I love is that it isn't. I suppose also one other angle you could look at it as is there's not necessarily no good guys, but it doesn't preach to you who's the good and who isn't. It lets you make you decide. And that's why a show like this is timeless, because it allows you to conversate for all time. Danny, let's say you agree with what Tony did and I disagree. Then there's a dialogue there, a conversation. And then Darius comes along and says, hey, you guys both think there's only two sides. There's a third side to this whole story. And Adam comes along and says, all three of you are wrong. It's actually Ralph's fault. And then we go,
fuck Ralph.
Especially because like Tony's objectively a bad person, but you find yourself rooting for him. Like, objectively speaking, he's a bad person. He's done bad things.
He's really bad. Yeah.
Like
bad things.
He
does
also
some scummy stuff.
He has a likable personality. He does do good things from time to time, whether they're for good reasons or not. So it's kind of a complicated situation.
Yeah. And I'll also say this. We rag on Anthony and Cobra Kai for being a little bitch ass, but AJ in this show is
AJ's the worst
I have ever seen in my life.
That little motherfucker right there, like
honestly, he's such a little pipsqueak. I was like, every single time you think he's about to go on a character arc of, I'm my father's son, it just complete 180, and then he's just
at least
I'll just give you like a tad.
You got to say that.
I'll give him like a tad thing of like Tony even tells him like, you know what? I don't think this is for you. Like, and I'll leave it right there. Like, it's
this whole like line of life. It's not for you, and I think that's what like Tony's frustrations are throughout the whole show. Is he wants AJ to be the next in line? You know,
he wants him to do good things.
But at the same time, He just isn't. And then even outside of the mob mafia stuff, he's not doing anything.
Yeah, even if you didn't want to get involved with the mob stuff, it's like do something with your life. You don't have to do with your dad.
Say what you want to say about Meadow. Like at least she tried to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and by the way, Meadow's not a good person either. Like, she's good looking, but she's not a good person either. Like, she does.
You had to throw in she's good looking.
She is. I'm just saying, it was perfectly legal. She was 18. I'm just saying. 18.
Legal. I don't think I ever want to hear another sentence start off like that. It was perfectly
legal.
It's like that scene in Family Guy where it's like, you ever do this, that, whatever, and Peter's like, what the hell? Who the hell starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
Yeah. I know exactly what scene you're talking about. Who the hell?
Yeah, that's right. Telephone tough guy. Put Vito on the phone.
Oh, no.
Hell, man. But yeah, like, we'll go back to Sopranos probably when RJ chimes back in. Hopefully that's not me summoning him into existence right now, because that would really annoy me. But we'll transition to the next topic for a bit. But
yes,
yeah,
because I was about to say, right, as much as I love you boys, I'm still having to watch it because you know me, I get very busy. So my opinion on The Sopranos, I've never fucking seen it.
You're going to be watching for a while. Long ass show.
You're going to be watching it, man. It's really great, man.
Wait, whereabouts are you in watching it?
I just started episode 1 and I didn't even get 10 minutes into it.
You're in for a ride, though. It's good.
You're in for a ride because, like, honestly, the show gets progressively better each season.
Yeah,
but enjoy it because when you finish it.
Can I also point out before the next topic? Guess what Ranger is who? Because there's white, green, red, and black.
RJ, please come as blue. Please come as blue.
Please have the blue top on, please. That would just completely.
I might have to message him for safety just to be like, hey, please come as the Blue Ranger or something, please.
Wait. Very important question. Who's coming as Kimberly?
Anyway, so the next topic.
Wow.
You don't have any. I mean, there's no women in the Kings, so I mean, that's not really how Kings work. Can't be women.
I mean, I can't say that on there. Anyway, go to the next topic.
I mean, I guess you can. Never mind. Never mind that.
Anyway. So okay, like Darius, I'm actually glad that you're here because like I thought we were not gonna talk about this, but like I put it back in like last second. But the Emmys and the Bear, how did you feel about that? I know you guys sent something out. Like,
yeah, I think it's hilarious that the Bear literally went on a run. We're literally like the Emmys was last weekend. The Bear literally won like 8 Grammys in a row. It was ridiculous. It was just the Bear, like over and over and over. Like, and I think it's well deserved because if anyone hasn't watched the show, it's better you watch.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen the one scene going everywhere.
It's pretty good.
The one where John Bernthal gets up at the table and tries to throttle the dude.
Yeah,
I mean, if he's in it, I'm watching it. So
it's funny as shit. It's hilarious.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Like
it's also emotional too. Jeremy Allen White. Jeremy Allen White. If you don't know, Jesus Christ.
Oh, Barry Allen.
Carry on, Darius.
Jeremy Allen White. If you don't know who he is, he was in Iron Claw. He's great as the main.
He's a good actor. He looks like Willy Wonka, dude.
He does.
He was in Shameless. That's his original role. Get it right, man. God, you call yourself fans and you didn't even get his original role. It was actually across from what's his name? I met him. Why is my brain drawing a blank? Crap. Cameron Monaghan. That's it. There we go.
Yep.
Pardon me.
Nice. Good one.
Yeah, John Berthol's in it. The whole cast is just great. Like
Danny's a stunt double.
I'm trying not to spoil it. I'm trying not to spoil it because the less you know about it, the better. It's about
it's about
a restaurant, and
it's really about a restaurant.
You guys ever worked in a restaurant industry, or you know someone in the restaurant industry, like it's gonna hit hard for you because it's like it takes a real look at how all that shit works and
how restaurants actually work.
How dysfunctional a lot of these upscale restaurants actually are behind the scenes. You would not guess how.
No, I actually seen like chefs that actually like kind of react to the bear, and they said like most of it is true, and then there's a lot of false stuff in there too, and everything. So
I mean, they put on for TV for good drama. Like it's
yeah, for sure. Like they can't give you like point blank for blank on like what is it like in a restaurant, or it was like cancel. Like I'm put that way, like.
It's really good. Like anyone who's interested in finding a new good show to watch. The episodes aren't that long. There's not that many.
Yeah, they're like 30 minutes. Yeah. It's like 30 minutes.
At the same time, it's paced really well because
you
don't feel like it's rushing to get to anything. It doesn't drag on. Like it's a really good show, and literally everyone in the cast.
What service is it on?
It's on Hulu.
Hulu.
Oh well, I mean, yeah.
You mean something we never get?
Well, I think it's Disney and Hulu are already merged over
there.
Yeah.
Right? So it'll be Disney.
Yeah, they're almost about to merge soon.
We'll get it in like 2 years then.
Oh, it's got like and obviously you guys know me and how I feel about ratings and whatever else, but according to Rotten Tomatoes, 99% and IMDb 8.6 out of 10.
The critics got this one right.
And Hulu uses 91.
The critics feeling all right.
They got this one right.
Yeah. I mean, like they actually got this one actually right. I'm surprised. Like,
it must be good if it's a rare day that the critics actually, laying up with the actual viewers. Goddamn.
There's no messaging in it. There's nothing. Like it's legitimately just a good show. It's a story about like the restaurants and everything like that. How a restaurant is supposed to work, and the character. It
takes place in Chicago, so.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
Chi-town.
If you want to take a look at how Chicago works, it's a pretty good picture of how Chicago actually is. So
there's two different Chicagos. I'll leave it right there. Darius knows what I'm talking about. Like
that's a conversation for offline.
You get to see it. You get to see a bit of both sides of Chicago in the show, a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 2 seasons out already. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll binge this show. I've heard good things.
And all those Emmys, mind you, all the Emmys.
They're all well deserved.
They were for season 1. They haven't even done season 2 yet. I think season 2 is better than season 1. So
whoa, hey,
they like season 2 is already out on Hulu.
Yep. Jesus, let me look at this review here. It's 5 stars. It says, so this here is on Google. This is from someone called Alexander Gomez. It says the usual formula for making slice of life dramas feels very common and oversaturated in a lot of streaming shows nowadays, where you can see clearly the absence of passion. I'm happy to say that The Bear pleasantly surprised me in that regard. I've never been much of an enthusiast about watching dime a dozen dramas, but this show is so well put together, to the point where you actually feel like you're in a real heavily busy kitchen with real flesh and blood people. I almost teared up at season 1's finale because it feels so brutal and honest when talking about real issues like an addiction or suicide. I came because I love Jeremy White's performance and character he brought to Shameless, but I stayed because the whole cast is clearly giving it their all, and it shows very clearly how everyone develops into a family by the end. Everyone loved what this first season brought, and man, I cannot wait to see more. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's just the first season. Second season, I think, is a little bit better.
No, I finished the second season already, and
damn, I need to get on that show. But I still need to finish.
It's good.
I still need to finish The Boys.
It goes to some dark places, but it's like
it
never loses the humor because there is a character on the show named Richard.
Richie
as hell.
So funny. He's stupid, but he's funny though. Like.
That's great.
I think Darius is frozen.
That is
He'll be back.
Oh Jesus, he'll be back. He'll be right with us. I'm not going to do him. Oh, there you go. I was about to say I'm not going to do him dirty and leave his thing onto it. There you go. But yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I can't wait to check it out. I still need to finish The Boys and then get around to it. Got a lot of things I got to catch up on. But that's just because, again, like going back to how we started the streaming with the age of the streaming wars. There's just so much stuff. But I can't wait to check it out. Really can't wait to check it out.
And so, the final part of the series for today, and if anybody else hops on here or whatever, well, chat This is for you guys.
This is your time.
Q&A.
I like how he's like, it's for you guys, but where his finger placement looks like he's pointing to Jacob.
No comment. I didn't do it. I swear.
Darius.
Oh, it's like the scene in Pirates of the Caribbean, goddammit.
Yeah. With gunpowder.
And then they'll do the laugh.
Back to front as well, so it's confusing. So you're sitting there trying to figure out which side you're going.
All right, Jack, you're coming with me.
I got a jar of dirt. Guess what's inside it?
Like Jack the monkey points the gun at the parrot, and then he's like, they all go.
I gotta rewatch those movies, man. It's been too long.
Yeah, it's been a while.
James Norton one.
I don't know how true this is that Pirates of the Caribbean 6 is ready to go.
What? When the hell did they film that?
When did they do that? And when did Johnny Depp say yes?
In terms of a story, they've got a story idea.
Oh, if it's with Johnny Depp back and there's people who actually give a shit, then sure. But
they have no word on Johnny Depp being involved, and that.
I don't think he's going to do it because he's no longer he's just no longer bought a pub in like the UK and he's living in the UK now.
You know what I do? If you want to do a Pirates of the Caribbean, I would do a game.
They also own an alpaca.
I do a game first, like a story game.
I really hope that those rumors with The Rock and Margot Robbie.
We're in an era where Margot's in everything.
I'm sorry, but if I see a Pirates of the Caribbean movie with The Rock and Margot Robbie, I know I'm never watching that crap.
I think
we saw that though with the freaking Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, after that bomb, I think they were like, yeah, let's not do this. So
I really don't want. Just bring.
The only thing I would ever go to see Pirates of the Caribbean with The Rock in it is if he actually had dreads. That's the only thing that would make it worth it for me.
You want him to be the Scorpion King again?
Yeah, but it's better than bald, no personality Rock.
Did you see The Rock? The Rock wants to do serious movies. No, Jason Momoa wants to do serious movies now. I'm like, dude,
no.
What do you mean do serious movies?
This is part of something that really frustrates me, and this is something I take personally because, all right, allow me to just make this about me for a second.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
When you actually allow me to reintroduce myself, my name is Chosen One. But essentially, as someone who's actually trained to be an actor and trained in the art, it's not freaking easy. You don't just go show up one day and go, if you smell what the like that. That's not like it's great in WWE.
That's sports entertainment.
But that's sports entertainment. And same thing with Jason Momoa. Like he's great and he's got great charisma. Loved him as Aquaman. He's got great presence.
Good in Game of Thrones.
Hey, I was a fan of his Aquaman, to be fair.
But there's acting and then there's acting. Like he's
gonna be Lobo.
Jason Momoa isn't acting.
That's a good role.
He's always playing the same characters.
And that's the thing. It's not a knock on them. It's not to say they can't do dramatic roles. But if you were to compare, let's say, Willem Dafoe's performance as Green Goblin versus the performance of Jason Momoa as Aquaman, there's acting and then there's acting.
Yeah. Well, so that's what I'm saying. Like for me, like I'd never even really cared for his Aquaman, but like they only done ever one serious character, and that was in Game of Thrones, and even at that, it wasn't like it was a bit on the edgy side, we should say. But like you know, like when it comes to actually Jason Momoa, like they're just eye candy for women. Let's just be real. They're just there to be objectified by the female audience because legitimately, like
even aside from that, they've got charisma and whatever else. But in terms of acting,
they've got charisma to a certain extent.
It's like this.
In terms of acting range,
they're good at what the thing that they're trying to do, which is
they're action stars.
Yeah, they're basically doing what Stallone and Schwarzenegger were doing in the 80s, which is like, we're gonna be these action stars and we're gonna play the same character in every movie and like which is fine because there is a market for that. There needs to be a market.
Yeah, people love action movies.
Like when do you guys remember when, and not to bring up any bad worms and whatever else, we can still be disappointed with how bad a movie is. But do you remember when before Black Adam released, I was like, you're not going to see a Black Adam movie. You're going to see
The Rock.
We were right.
You're going to go see The Rock.
We were all right.
It's always the same crap. Like that's the thing. Like I don't. It's not that I don't like these actors, right? It's just that you know how easy it is for like me to walk in and just play the white, like sort of alternative kid in every movie. Jacob's the edgy, teenager character. Darius is just the chill stoner type, even though he's not a stoner. Danny is just the more eccentric, funny one. It's just boring stereotypes.
I'm just the black guy.
Shit, man. This is why
I'm the black guy.
This is why I recommend that actors, hey, if you want to break out of your mold, you don't want to be typecast, you have to do it early, because once you get 3 or 4 projects of doing the same thing, that's what all
it's over.
Like look at Daniel Radcliffe. He's actually a great actor, by the way. Everyone thinks of him as Harry Potter. No matter what the hell he does, he's just Harry Potter.
And the only thing that would break him out of it if he actually does play Wolverine.
Yeah, I kind of hope for that, because I want him to not be known as just Harry Potter for the rest of his life. Like he's
love
great as Harry.
him to break free of that. But I remember when The Woman in Black came out, and watching that, all I could think of was "Stop it, Harry!" Like, and that's a part of a larger problem. Is it's not necessarily the actor, but
it's the audience.
They get to a point where their name is bigger than they are. And that's not, there's no level of acting that can get them out of that. Like, yes, you've got your DiCaprio that could play everything under the sun, but that's because DiCaprio early on played like 4 or 5 different roles like that. Not every actor is blessed with that.
Even Johnny Depp has been typecasted as well. If you think about it, he always plays this strange, weird
kid. Worlds.
He plays weird dudes. He played Willy Wonka.
Stephen Hogg always plays himself.
Esposito, he plays nothing but villains.
That Dark Shadows movie where he's a vampire.
Yeah, it's just
Edward Scissorhands.
And sometimes I'm not saying everyone has to be a dramatic actor, because, like Jacob said, everyone is built for that. Like, no one's saying that you have to do that. If it's not what you want to do, then don't. I'm not saying you have to, but
I mean, like
you're good at what you do. You make money, and people show up for you.
Yeah, it's like there can only be so many Denzels and DiCaprios and all those guys. Like, you're just gonna have like actors that can do anything, and they're just great at everything. But they like we need action stars. We need the Rocks. We need like people that are gonna be like one-hit wonders.
How many times can we all list movies, from Expendables to Fast and Furious, whatever it may be, an Arnold movie or a Stallone movie, where you're going there, or hell, you can go a step further. Keanu Reeves, Tom Cruise, you're going there because you're going to get a specific type of movie.
Yeah,
because they're attached to it. It's just it's not necessarily because of their acting. It's just you're going to get.
And then there are guys like Tom Cruise. I think Tom Cruise could be a serious actor if that's what he wanted, but that's just not what he wants to do. So I'm just like, well, because I've seen him in other movies where he does do serious stuff.
I was gonna say Few Good Men. Like, that's the only Tom Cruise movie that I own. It's A Few Good Men. The one with what's it? You can't handle the truth.
No Mission Impossible's in there, Danny?
No, I don't like Tom Cruise. I don't.
Shocking, sir. You don't like the dun 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 dun.
I don't like Tom Cruise. I only got one good movie.
On a quick side note, did you guys ever hear that rant that he went on years ago, where he was on set and he was freaking the fudge out?
That was hilarious.
Yeah,
I knew someone who was on the set that day, and they said he was.
It's like when I saw the man jumping on Oprah Winfrey's couch, I said, "Oh man, this man nuts. He's crazy."
Yeah, he's mad. He's but it's like he's dedicated to his craft, and this is the thing. I'm glad that you guys said that whole analogy. Let me just take a promise. There's no alcohol in this. It's just fruit twist. There you go. Product placement. Fanta fruit twist. Yeah.
You should pay.
I'm not drinking the whole thing, by the way. I just can't be asked to pour a glass. And
pay us, Fanta. We gave you screen time. Pay us, Fanta.
Yeah, we gave you screen time. Pay us some royalties in this. But we need Dwayne Johnsons. We need Stallones. We need people like that, because as much as they try and break free of what they are, it's not to say they can't pull off any emotional acting. For me, my favorite role of The Rock's is the Gridiron Gang. I love him in that movie. There's a shot in that movie, very underrated movie, by the way. If you really want an insight into what hood life is like, watch that movie. But essentially, me talking like I know, the white guy from London. But essentially, there's a scene where, do you guys remember where the team gets together, they give him the flowers, and he's like, you guys get out there and play, thank you. And he's like, and then Willie's like, oh, my next touchdown's going to be for your mum. I'm like, oh, who's cutting them onions?
Yeah.
And then the walks out of the scene, right? And he turns around and he sheds one tear. Doesn't cry like sheds one tear. Very masculine tear.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And I'm like, damn, that's some range. In terms of him reaching a DiCaprio level, it's not feasible. But stuff like that is very possible. And what's also possible is this lovely gentleman here deciding to scrape into the conversation just as a post-credit. Look who it is, everybody. Look who it is. Look who it is. 25 years of the greatest show of all time. Go on,
snap, the great hat is back.
Oh, wait. He's doing the Brad Pitt thing where he's like...
Burn out the reading, baby.
Jesus Christ. But we were basically on the topic, RJ, of like, I don't know if you heard any of it, of how like we need the Rocks, we need the Stallones and whatever, and they'll never be that dramatic actor that they kind of want to be, but it doesn't mean that they can't expand. Kind of thing.
I mean,
there can only be so many DiCaprios and Denzel Washington.
That's right. Telephone tough guy. Put Vito on a phone.
The thing about like I love that scene, man. The thing about like the Rock.
All right, let's talk about Gail Benecker.
The thing about like The Rock and guys like Jason Momoa, they're like action, like, guys that, action stars. Like, they can't really do, dramatic roles like a DiCaprio or a Denzel. And the thing about guys like DiCaprio and Denzel, they can do both. I mean, people forget DiCaprio was in Body of Lies, and that's like an action spy espionage.
But they're an anomaly. Like, to reach their level, you've got to be.
Denzel was in Safe House. Two guns.
Denzel's the equalizer now. Like,
like Denzel's
equalizer.
Like actors,
you can do it.
I think it's what people don't realize.
What the hell is wrong with you? I'm really asking.
Really asking. I think that like
now this is very shoddy work, Pinkman. I'm actually embarrassed for you.
Actually embarrassed for you.
The thing that people don't like, I think it's okay for actors to just be, understand what you are. I mean, The Rock, if you want to take on like, dramatic roles, go ahead. Go for it. But like if it's
like I said, Gridiron Gang, my favorite role of his, dramatic.
But I think like there are some actors that like that get typecasted and then they wonder why they're typecasted. Well, it's like, well, you keep on taking these roles. So when the more roles you take on, what I mean?
You start feeding into it yourself. Like,
I was gonna tell you that.
It's bankable.
Like, could you just say this? Like, when it comes to like people like The Rock and like Jason Momoa, they are aware that they're not that versatile, so they're just taking anything. Like, would you say that?
The Rock knows what he is. I mean, like, he knows that because he's been doing action movies for like he's basically our Arnold. He's this generation. So,
he's in WWE.
But if you got guys like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise can do both dramatic roles and he can do action. Like but he prefers to do action. Like he likes doing that stuff. So like,
even John Cena, who was I think Peacemaker proved that John Cena is a better actor than a lot of people thought he was.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
He's still playing he's still playing an action character. He's still playing a stupid, like, kind of an idiot dude. But like,
it's like
there are times in that show where it gets emotional, and you're like, oh,
because I'm watching Peacemaker with RJ, and I'm saying like, RJ is like John Cena actually being a good actor right now.
If you take his performance in Fast and Furious, for example, in Fast 9, he plays a villain, not really selling it. Like, it just isn't really having the gravity that they were going for. When he switches sides and he's like the anti-hero guy that's working
he's the cool uncle, yeah.
He's the cool uncle, and it works perfectly. And there's a beautiful scene with like
it's a beacon of hope and justice.
When actors from WWE,
things like Little B comes over and hugs him and says, "I love you, Uncle Jacob." And John Cena actually had real expression on his face where it was like, "Oh, you could feel it." I was like, "Damn!" And then when he actually dies, you're like, "No, no." But also, as we're all here, grab a t-shirt, because at the end of the day, what's most important in life is we've mentioned John Cena. We've mentioned Peacemaker. Danny, cue the line. 3, 2, 1.
Do you really want to taste that? Oh man.
Yeah, we were talking about RJ. We were talking about Daniel Radcliffe, how Harry Potter typecasted him for like forever. Like people think of him as Harry Potter.
See that right there. That's not like that.
It's not fair.
That's not fair on him because he actually his own roles. He's actually a really good. Like, he has some range. Hell, dude.
He's like our favorite TV stars. Like they're typecasted. Like I'm sorry, Alfonso from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you're Carlton for life, my dude. Like I'm sorry, dude.
Even he's not this anymore. But Billy Zabka in the '80s, he just kept getting bully characters.
You're Johnny Lawrence.
They just kept casting him as bully because he was so great.
It's not necessarily. This opens the other conversation if it's not to do with the actor or let's say the role, but it's what the fans see them as. Like it's like, oh, you're that bully, you're that character. It's like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Even you could, hell, the guy he plays in Watchmen is basically Negan.
Yeah.
The guy
he plays is
basically Negan.
Yeah. I was gonna tell you this, like, even with Adam West or whatever, like for years, like after the Batman show 1966 or whatever. Hold on, let me finish. Like,
we're laughing at some noise.
I made the sound and Darius started laughing, so we just I wasn't laughing at the Adam West thing.
I was like,
continue.
I was gonna say, like with Batman 1966 or whatever, like even Adam West couldn't stand Batman for years until like he actually went to conventions and stuff like that, and people loved him as Batman, and then he just accepted it. Like, hey, I get paid to be Batman, so hey, I accept it. You know what I'm saying? Like.
You know, it's like even freaking Harrison Ford. I don't want to be known as Han Solo, but it's like you are, dude.
Sorry, dude.
You are. And
I'm sorry.
Not necessarily. It gets to a point where it's again. I've said this before. It's not about us as diehard fans and what we see them as. It's what casual audience people see. And I've been getting a lot of bad things suggested in my feed lately on like YouTube or wherever. Giancarlo was telling a story about how he was in line for the bathroom and someone looked at him like, oh my God, you're him, you're Gus. And then he just went, like he switched, you know, it's like they get to a point where they just play into it, you know, and if you then go for it, you know, sometimes
I would totally do that. Troll people.
Like sometimes typecasting isn't always a bad thing.
Yeah.
Look at Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Like he plays the same role by definition.
Well, shit. Holy shit.
A little bit.
Consistent work.
When I met Martin Cole last year, he had like going up to him.
Oh yeah.
Jesus, man.
And he just has the crease look. He has a crease face. Like he looks like he's about to hit you or something. And I'm just talking to him.
He's a nice dude. Yeah.
He's a nice guy, but then he switches. Like he's
so intense. He's so intense 1 minute.
Whenever you're talking, right? Like if you're talking to him, like you're asking a question, he looks at you with a crease look. Like he's like, oh, it's on the right.
When I met him at Con and I got a picture with him, like as I was leaving, he gave me the crease wink of like that. I'm like, that's not a crease wink. That's just you. That's just your thing. You just like doing that. But that's the thing. Like typecasting isn't always necessarily a bad thing. If someone's good at it, then it's like sometimes you kind of need that. Like take even something as Fast and Furious, just as an example. Seeing John Cena in it, I'm like, you are perfect for this franchise. Where have you been all the time?
There are some roles only one actor can play, and RJ's gonna know. Ryan Reynolds is one. Ke-Huy Quan from Everything Everywhere All at Once and Loki. Only he can play that role, dude. Like there's no one else that can play certain roles. So they need this. So you keep calling certain actors to do it because it's just like, well, this part's written for Ryan Reynolds, so. But I
my thing is this. It's like like if you're an actor, sometimes when you're typecast, you just gotta stop fighting it and just see it for what it is, dude. You're that person. You get free stuff for just being that person. Like,
like what you're saying there. Take what Chris Evans said about like the Captain America thing, and fair play to him. Like he's tried with the Gray Man, but all I see is Hydra Cap. He's tried with Knives Out, but then I'm like, again, Hydra Cap. Like,
you're no Captain America.
I just see him as Captain America, and that's just the harsh reality of it. And it's a shame, RJ, you weren't wearing a blue shirt because we had a little thing going. If Adam was red, Danny was green, I'm white, Darius is black. There's a little joke in there somewhere. You're gray. You're gray.
Yes, I am. I am black.
I'm white too. But we're the Power Rangers. There you go.
The Gray Ranger.
The Gray Ranger. Gray Ranger. There you go.
Yeah, true.
No, Titanium Ranger.
Titanium Ranger.
Yeah.
I like that.
That makes more sense, especially because Andros in the house.
Yeah.
Check it.
So RJ, what do you think about Sopranos?
I was gonna say just
before we go into the Q&A.
Hang on, RJ, before you just 1 second, just 1 second. I already told all these guys how you said don't get attached to any character. This is one of the greatest shows of all time. We wouldn't have Walter White without Tony Soprano. All of that. We all agreed that Ralph is the biggest twat on the planet.
Fuck Ralph.
And yeah.
All my homies hate Ralph. Fuck Ralph.
Wait, whoa. Hang on. I gotta set it up properly. Wait a second. I gotta set it up properly. So
got to do the scene, man.
RJ's gonna have the floor because this is his domain. Like this show is RJ.
25-year anniversary.
What the hell is wrong with you? I'm really asking.
Now this is very shoddy work, Pinkman. I'm actually embarrassed for you.
All right, let's talk about Gail Benecker.
God damn it, the Chiefs won.
God damn it, the Chiefs won.
I'm sorry, I had to address that because now Taylor Swift failed. Now the Swifties get to live another week. God damn it.
You cannot depend on the Bills. I keep saying it. It's their year every year.
Where did that come from? Oh my gosh, where did that come from?
The Bills.
Anything.
The Bills.
I'm an American on Football Sunday. It slips out.
RJ, does your top say murderer?
No, mutter.
Oh, right. I was a bit too sick. I was like, what?
Maybe I should change that shirt.
I was a bit too sick.
RJ has left us, unfortunately, but don't worry, it's all right. We're not going to be talking about The Sopranos anymore. It's overrated.
Gabagoo.
It's overrated. Wink, wink. It's
Gabagoo.
I'm just enjoying his merry background.
Oh my god.
Yep.
For God's sake.
Black and white background, baby.
For God's sake.
Right.
How many times? Okay.
All right, now you're definitely the Titanium Ranger because you.
Oh, wait a minute. Look what he's wearing.
It's a shirt.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
you? Carry on. All right, as you were saying, RJ, your time. Go ahead, bro. Sopranos, all you.
This show,
shut up.
The Sopranos, you shut up, is the greatest, arguably the greatest TV show of all time.
Yeah, it was mad.
You shut up, Adam. You haven't even seen it.
Actually, I'm 10 minutes into the first episode. Thank you.
Sipping the tea.
I'm a twat. But first off, I want to say rest in peace, James Gandolfini, the legend that he is, and the stuff that he cared so much about. And there's a story that he put some of his paycheck to some of the other cast members because they weren't getting paid enough to just so they can stay on the show. And that's just a testament to his character. But this show started the golden age of television. It started like the era of like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones,
Chosen One,
the Cards, but
Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead. This show
My name's Earl.
The era of like at a certain time once a week you would sit on your television in your room watching this show. And this show, like, it had an end. I'm not going to get into the ending, but it had an ending.
Oh, Jacob already spoiled the ending.
An ending that, like, it kept people talking. People are still talking about it to this day. And whether you agree with it or not, I think they accomplished their goal. People are still talking about the ending.
They're still talking.
Me and RJ was talking about the ending the other day.
Yeah. But it balanced so many characters. So many characters. It had a lot of characters.
One thing I forgot to mention earlier on, the cast for this, like the only thing they were missing was like Joe Pesci. The fact that he wasn't in this, such a crime. He's perfect for this. Like they had literally every renowned actor.
Fuck you, Ralph.
Yeah, agreed. Every renowned actor in Hollywood at the time, in terms of Italian mafia characters, was in this show.
Yeah.
And there is that theory out there that Kevin McAllister's, family.
It's a funny theory.
Hilarious.
The thing about this show that
look what you did, you little jerk. Carry on.
This show has everything for me. It has comedy. It is like, despite like the crime drama and how serious and
I'll keep this short and sweet. You're weak. You're out of control. An embarrassment to yourself and this family. Hey, whoa!
That's a lot of
funny. Whoa!
It is a funny
on the phone.
And
yeah, that's right. Telephone tough guy. Put Vito on the phone.
And it just had like the family dynamic with like
family.
It's a very strong presence on family. How like Tony has to balance his mob family life, and he has to balance his family life, like his actual family.
Yeah,
he doesn't want his kids.
I'm the boy's uncle.
I'm the boy's uncle. He doesn't want his kids to like be, especially his son. He doesn't want his son to be.
He wants him to actually be something, and he's just. I'm sorry. Well, while we were watching through it, and I said this earlier on, I'm going to say it again. Anthony in Cobra Kai, he may have his issues, but he at least tries. AJ in this show is the biggest pipsqueak going. I honestly, RJ will tell you guys every episode. I was like, are we going to pay something off with this motherfucker? Like,
I just wanted, like, he just had a punchable face, bro. Sorry.
The thing about AJ is like
nothing.
Tony doesn't want AJ to be like, that's like the scary thing. He doesn't want him to be him.
Tony Soprano.
He wants him to be, have a decent job, like,
ends up being nothing.
And think that when AJ is messing up, it scares Tony, and that's why he lashes out at him. And I know some people don't like
and it still amounts to nothing.
I know some people don't like the therapist stuff, but I actually kind of like it. It was different.
I brought up earlier on one of my favorite things while we were watching through it, and honestly, thank you for introducing me to this show. Like, chef's kiss. But one of my favorite moments where the therapist is concerned is when that awful thing happens to her, and she could tell Tony, and the guy would go,
oh, dude, that was brilliant writing. Yeah.
Because it's not like she just chooses not to do it for the sake of plot. It's more like, no, she could do it.
She doesn't want a death on her conscience.
She even says it to her husband. She says, "I could have him, done."
I mean,
whacked.
Darius, you remember earlier on where we were mentioning AJ, and you were just like, "I want to just."
He has a punchable face, man.
The thing about Tony is like, Tony is a likable mobster. You actually root for him throughout the show,
but he's scum too.
But the thing about Tony, he didn't.
Yeah,
he was a product of
his environment. Yeah,
he grew up around the mafia, so he was gonna be in it.
Yeah,
and you got characters. Episode was hilarious. You got characters like Uncle Junior, who's funny, but he's annoying Tony, because he's always lashing out, and he's kind of like his
Uncle
father.
Junior.
Hilarious, man.
Oh, I said he looks like Frank. Was it Frank Oz?
Frank Oz, yeah. And then
you got Frank Oz in this show.
And then you got characters like
Yoda,
like Christopher. And Christopher is a tragic. I think of Christopher and Adriana as the tragic characters of the show.
They are indeed.
Yeah,
Christopher.
Christopher does he's not likable, but he's likable. Like he's kind of likable. He's really likable.
He's not likable, but kind of likable.
I mean, I also said that earlier on, when a character goes, they go. And I said to these guys, the comic book rules don't apply here. You know how, in comic book movies, if you don't see a body, they might still be alive. In this show, you don't see a body. You don't want to know what happens to the body. Like they're gone. Like
the thing that I like about the show is that you can have a comedy scene between Paulie and Christopher, and then the next are whacking somebody and they're murdering.
Yeah.
Like it's just like
Fuck you, Ralph.
Really good. Ralph.
Sorry.
This show has some assholes in it. Ralph, number one.
I said earlier on.
He's the devil. He's literally the devil. Like they call him the devil. Like,
and that's the thing. This show has the ability to switch tones and genre, if you will, at will,
and it works.
And it could be a comedy one second, and a horror the next. You know?
And there's some times where it doesn't feel like a mob show. It feels like a family drama because like you're going between Meadow, what's Meadow doing, what's Carmela doing,
and then somebody dies, and you're like, oh shit, that's what this is.
But believe it or not, there's actually a character worse than AJ. It's Jackie Jr. He's the worst character.
Oh yeah.
At least Tony's son stay out of the mafia. Like this dude tried to
guy.
He messed.
He's an idiot.
Like
and Tony.
Yeah. Like,
he's like, how dare hey, come to the bathroom with me. Come to the bathroom with me.
Like he wanted him to stay out of the life. He just wanted to be a mobster so bad.
It's like you pushed me, and you pushed me.
It's like, dude, you saw Jackie Jr. like scared, bro, when Tony had him on the wall. He's like, he said, "You're gonna apologize to my daughter. You gonna apologize to my daughter." Like, I'm like, oh snap, you stupid, bro.
As the show was going along, that Tony was losing all of his people, like one by one. And I said to RJ, like, are we gonna have anyone left by the end? Like, they're all going. Like, it's so.
You never know, man. Never get attached to these people.
You know the scene
where he told me before we started watching,
with,
don't get attached.
You know the scene where he's with Silvio and Bobby, and they're like listening to that Raging Bull theme song, and then like they're play boxing. It's a good moment, but it's sad because especially when you rewatch it and you know what happens after that.
It's one thing to watch it and not know, and especially imagine doing this on a week-to-week basis. Christ, in the age of streaming, but. Just imagine with a second context, if you know where it's going to go and what's going to happen afterwards, it's heartbreaking, Yeah. And this show also gets another star for me because in the opening lyrics it says, "Mama always said you'd be the chosen one."
And I'll tell you, he's another asshole on this show. Phil Leotardo, that guy was.
That's what you meant me.
No, Phil.
Damn.
You guys don't know what I'm talking about. Who have seen like Phil is an asshole. Like
yes, he is.
Yeah.
Cannot stand Phil. When the New York mob war started to happen in the final season, this guy
was doing way too much.
He looked like, do you know what he reminded me of? He reminded me of that soldier out of Small, like Toy Soldiers, the Small Soldiers movie, like the little the main commando, just like a real piece of.
Another thing that Paulie is.
Hey, share Darius.
Paulie is a character that we all need in a show. He is that funny guy, like.
He always has his hands right in front of him.
The best episode of the
I agree.
Series would be the Pine Barrens. I love the Pine Barrens episode where they're where Paulie and Christopher had to take care of the Russian guy and they're stuck in the snow.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That's the best episode in my opinion.
Yeah,
like, top 3 for like it is such
when he hits him with the
but one of the best displays of that, he's like bah! But one of the best.
Let's talk about Gail Lineker.
One of the best displays of the show, and James Gandolfini's acting and Edie Falco's acting, is season 4, episode 13. I think it's called The Whitecaps. When one of Tony's
season 4.
Yeah, when one of Tony's mistresses calls the house, and she was basically talking crap.
Yep, Whitecaps.
Whitecap, yeah, that's it.
Tony comes home and then Carmela's throwing his stuff out the window, and then
what are you doing? What are you doing?
Between these two was phenomenal. Like,
the
good lord,
were insane.
That were insane in this show, man. Like,
they acted their bollocks off. Man. Like, and then some. They picked their bollocks and they put their bollocks back on and then acted them off again.
It is timeless. The show is
so nice. They did it twice.
Yeah. More than once.
Mm-hmm. 25 good years, man.
25 good years. And the intro, man, that might be the best part of the whole show. Every time
this morning,
I never skip the intro when I
woke up this morning.
I never skip it. Never skip the
Got yourself a gun.
It is such.
Got yourself a gun.
Set up there, you.
Shut up, Jacob.
Mama always told me you to.
Like every episode,
chosen one.
RJ would watch. The intro would start, and we just go, "Woke up this morning."
Dude, even The Simpsons made a parody to it, dude. Fat Tony.
Simple, like he's just driving. He's leaving New York City, going back.
Yeah, that's right. Telephone tough guy. Put Vito on a phone.
And he's just.
And I stand by this. That scene is one of my favorite ones ever because the person he's talking to in that, I couldn't play the part of that clip, but the guy goes, "Fuck you, mother." Like he's like the only person to ever best Tony Soprano. and he throws the phone under the rolling.
You know what? It's like Johnny. It's like Johnny and the pawn shop guy. Like pawn shop guy's the only person. Johnny just can't.
Oh, that's right. Telephone tough guy.
Put me on the phone.
Put me on the phone.
One thing I love about the intro is like he's just driving around. He's going back home to New Jersey from New York, and he's just smoking a cigar. And then it's just oh man.
But it's like me and RJ were talking about.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad versus Sopranos.
Depends on the day for me.
Yeah. You know.
For
like,
me,
Breaking Bad. I might have to watch Sopranos with the same kind of thing.
See, for me, like I like Sopranos a little bit more. I like Breaking Bad for what it is, but like it's not something I'm not gonna even lie. I probably won't even rewatch it as much or anything. I'm probably most likely gonna rewatch.
Or like your kind of.
I like both. I like both, but the thing about the Sopranos, the side characters are way better than the Breaking Bad side characters. Like,
because like the thing with me with Breaking Bad is like it's
everybody an arc.
I think Walt Jr. would disagree, but
it's really slow for me for Breaking Bad. Like I respect Breaking Bad fans or whatever, but sometimes I'm like, dog, I can't do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm too impatient sometimes. Like,
what the hell is wrong with you? I'm really asking.
I'm a sucker for both shows, but I can put on any episode of either show and just watch it.
Now this is very shoddy work, Pinkman. I'm actually embarrassed for you.
But like both shows are in my top 2 shows of all time. Like they're in the top 2.
They are great. They really are.
And I don't think you're ever gonna on the day.
Yeah, Jesus, and I don't think you're ever going to trump them because there's such a degree of passion and care within both shows. You just can't teach it. Like I watched a behind the scenes of Bryan Cranston and what's the guy that plays Jesse? What's his name? They were doing a read-through of the finale scene together on those sofas.
Yeah.
And they were like the way they were describing even the direction from the way Vince Gilligan wrote the script and just the scene breakdowns. I'm like, this level of you can't teach this. This is passion.
Yeah.
This is ultimate dedication to the craft.
Vince and David Chase, give yourself a round. You created
I said this to RJ. I said, could you imagine a network, right? You've got Michael Scofield from Prison Break. You've got Tony Soprano. You've got Heisenberg. You've got Gus. Like, you've got the makings of an empire right there that's undefeatable.
I think Better Call Saul deserves a shout out too because
I still
that shit. That one, okay, it's similar to Breaking Bad, kind of, but it's way funnier. Better Call Saul.
What do you guys think of?
Better Call Saul's
what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that theory that that Breaking Bad created The Walking Dead? Like, I think that's pretty funny. Like,
because of the scene with like Merle on the roof, and got like the crystal. I think that was like a nod because they were both on AMC and like Walking Dead was just getting started. But that is a funny thing.
Yeah, no, that's probably what that was.
I like that. I like that theory. It's pretty funny. Like, we're all connected.
McAllister's family is related to the Sopranos, so
also.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And Jigsaw apparently.
Sopranos basically started a whole genre of shows that try to become the Sopranos, and none of them have.
Yep, it's the whole
none of them.
Effect.
Yeah. They had so many characters. It was Game of Thrones level, like number of characters, and everybody had an arc. Even Artie had an arc, and he was annoying sometimes, and he had a good character arc.
Even
that
joke.
Wait, what? But the most tragic, Adriana is the character that I feel bad for the most.
She gets the rough.
She didn't deserve that, bro. She didn't deserve that.
She didn't deserve that. Yeah.
Sorry,
but
I did.
Check the.
So now, since we're all caught up,
Carry on.
People in the chat. Is there any questions that you want to ask us while we're still on this?
You've got us for 10 minutes. Ask away. Someone did say up here. I think it was Cobra Kai Wild. Did you see Kreese in his new gi?
Yeah, I don't really want to dwell on it though.
I didn't even know about the new gi.
It looks cool, but you can't really. It's just you just see like it's different.
Yeah, for me, like the less I know about season 6, the better.
I don't. See this one isn't that bad. But what I don't want is a season 4 situation.
I don't want that shit again.
I don't want that to happen again.
Yeah.
And also, I don't really like.
I don't care what extras show up to set. Whoever's
if you show us the new Miyagi, do not show us the Miyagi thing.
Every single person's phone, and you lock it away. You make sure no one has.
Or what I'll do. Honestly, what I would do is like I'll make 5 different gis. Like everybody's coming out like coming out
Netflix, Netflix, you need to do what Marvel does: make fake scripts, fake props. Like you gotta.
I mean, don't be surprised if they film the winner separate. Like they'll film that alone. But then what they'll do is they'll film a winning scene for everyone.
Film multiple endings.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Hawk may win the Sekai Taikai.
And I swear to God,
I swear, bro.
For all you losers out there in the fan base, that when the film comes out, the first thing you do is go to the end and post it on YouTube.
Hate that shit.
Fuck you. I'm looking at you. Fuck you. If you go to the end and you post the ending, I swear to God, if you do that when that comes out and I see that shit,
you guys gotta be like us. We shut off all our phones. Like we get on this StreamYard.
People in the chat, when we sat and watched season 4 together and season 5. We put the phones down. Like we did not touch our.
This phone right here. I Luke Skywalker this bitch.
Yeah,
it's like we shut it all off. We like, you guys need to take a potty break. Well, all right, we gotta take a potty break. You guys ready to get some breakfast? Let's get some breakfast.
Just say how refreshing. Well, you guys stayed up all night to catch it.
Oh, here we go.
We had some sleep, and I woke up and I had breakfast. I had a bowl of soup. Good morning, gentlemen.
Meanwhile, we're sitting there half dead. We're sitting there half.
No. You know, it cracks me up when Danny was like, "You lucky I love you, boys. I wouldn't be up right now." He's like this.
Also, what's funnier is the fact when Kenny gets knocked, like Danny, it would never get old. It's like, damn, RJ, you just got knocked the fuck out.
Bro, and also remember, like I think it was season 5. Remember, I was like, I should be in class right now, but you know what?
Yeah, Darius just skipped class. He's like, eh.
Bro, I skipped work. I was like,
bro, you understand how tired I was? I was like, dude, if I go to class, I'm gonna fall asleep on the walk to class. I will fall asleep.
I skipped work too because he's not
going.
I just took a day off on work. I was the responsible adult.
Whatever. No,
whatever. I told my professors I was sick, bro. I don't care. When
we got to episode 5 or 6, Darius.
Do you know what was so heartbreaking? We were walking through season 5, and Darius, didn't you have like so much trouble on your head? Like you woke up late, and
that was season 4, I think.
No, season 4. Season 5, he was there. Season 5, he made sure he was there.
Season 5, you were like, I'm not missing it whatsoever. I'm showing up day 1.
Season 5, I was on the phone with Darius because I was like, no, I can't go to sleep, and he couldn't go to sleep, so we were just on the phone.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
I actually watched Morbius and I skipped through it.
I remember. I was like, well, do you know what? You watch Morbius, now you're going to watch something good.
Yep. You couldn't even get through Morbius.
I skipped through so many scenes. I just couldn't.
Yeah, I agree, Mystic.
What the hell is wrong with you? I'm really asking.
Put Mystic on the screen. I agree. No more early access because that shit.
No, I don't want early access. Not even the first episode. No, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Again,
Yeah.
I felt so bad for people who didn't know that Robbie was gonna take on the whole dojo, and that shit was posted immediately.
I remember I had an offer from one of you guys to watch it with you, and I said no. I'll let I think I let Evan watch it. I said you go watch it, bro. I'd rather watch the season in full.
Oh yeah, we watched the first episode,
right?
Yeah.
And the
And
next
then,
minute, the scenes of like Robbie taking down mofos. Again, another reason why our boy should win. Taking down mofos, and I'm like, this is sick. This is awesome. Why is this up on YouTube?
Also,
yeah, because
Netflix. Remember when you spoiled Robbie and the Cobra Kai in season 3? Can you not do shit like that anymore?
And it's been every time it's something to do with Robbie. I swear to Christ, if he wins it and you spoil it, no. Because as soon as Robbie wins it, all I'm going to do is just this.
it's the moment of truth.
Yeah. Also early screenings. Don't do that anymore.
Yeah, no more early screenings.
They kind of have to do it.
I had someone message me, and they said to me, "Oh, but Jacob, wouldn't you like to cover it on the chat?" No, I don't care. Forget content creation. I'm viewing it as a show.
We're not a Cobra Kai channel, guys. Like, you guys got to remember it. Like, we're not like everybody else.
It's just I want to enjoy this final ride of this great show because we're not going to be able to do it. He's gone, but I don't want early screeners being pumped out and then all these people flooding YouTube with videos of like, oh my god, first episode. Oh, but Jacob, do you not want the first episode to whet your appetite? Motherfucker,
no.
You've already got my money. I'm in the seat. I will be there.
And like, here's the I get it.
Any early access because then certain people are going to go.
Shows have to
no. I need to reveal everything. Like I don't want that anymore.
They have to do it. They have to do early screenings for critics, which I get that. You have to do it for reviews and shit.
Critics,
like,
that's fine. I understand.
The more people you send them to, the more people that might
likely there's someone there.
The more something's gonna get out. Oh yeah, this happens in the finale, guys. I saw pictures.
Damn well, out of the 50 people that go, there's 2 people like Jimmy Jim John and then Billy Bob who are like, hey, pause the camera, quick. Oh, got that. Just gonna post that on the YouTube.
Like if you're gonna send screeners, just send like the first 3 episodes or something. Like send like.
And also, I'm a man of the people. Okay, I'm a man of the people, and what I mean by that is I'm not someone that's like got early access and special privileges. I want the common. I'm the people's champ in this.
I'm a common man.
I want people who don't have access to these things to enjoy it the same way everyone else does. Why should anyone get special treatment?
Yeah.
I mean, forgive me for being old school, but I think, for me personally, I think the first episode, if they were to really push for it and say first episode, fine, but don't reveal the episode titles and nothing else from episode 2 onwards.
I'm going to be real. They need to go back to the old days where they would just give it to press and they would just give it to
I don't want to know anything.
Yeah,
no, but don't you want to see a bit of the first episode?
No, don't give it to YouTubers because
here's the thing, journalists have to sign contracts. Yeah, we will not divulge any
legally
information.
Sorry, dude. Let's just be honest.
They don't give a
YouTubers. They don't care,
and especially with the final season, right? Like I've said before, it's the final season. Everyone's going to be like oozing to pump out content on every single minutia of detail that does not warrant a video. Imagine an early screener for episode 1, the treasure trove of content at one's display. And we saw it. We've seen it for 2 seasons in a row. People cannot wait to jump on.
When we all watched episode 1, we did not say anything. We was like, yo, we're not going to tell anybody about this. We're not going to say what
these guys didn't tell me anything. As soon as I load up YouTube to go and peruse what, like,
we just said whether we liked it or not.
All I said was you're going to like episode 1. You're going to love it.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, and I got spoiled everything.
And also, we were honoring the big 3 on our word, saying like, they asked you guys, please don't put this out.
Because this is the ripple effect. When you scoopers and leakers start doing this stuff, right? When you start doing that malarkey, you ruin it for future people. It's called integrity. I know some people out there don't have it. They just go, no, oh my God, no. I know we live in that world, but it's called integrity and having the humility to sit back and go, you know what? I'm not going to put this out there just because it will make me go viral and get 20,000 views on one video that everyone will forget for 20 years. Right.
Like from a writer's perspective, like imagine being a writer or an actor or a director or a cinematographer, and you work super hard for all these surprises for your audience.
I don't want any of this.
And like once you get a spoiler, your like experience is tainted because now you're waiting for that spoiler to happen. Now you have a preconceived idea of like I don't like this or I do like this.
The example I gave of the you remember in season 3 when Johnny's like, "Welcome to Eagle Fang Karate." Can you imagine if that scene was leaked? People go, "Oh, it's a leak. It's already finalized. It won't change." Nah, there's been history of people leaking stuff and then changing it before
making it worse.
So that reveal of like, oh, it's Eagle Fang Karate, and then the first watch you laugh because it's ridiculous and it's silly. But if it's already leaked out, it might have been changed to what?
Jacob, Jacob, I use this experience all the time. If Empire Strikes Back came out today, that shit would have got leaked, and they would have leaked the line. If you know, they would have leaked the line.
They would have leaked the line, the whole thing, and they would have leaked. Oh my god, there's a subplot of another. Like they would have leaked everything. There would have been no secret, nothing. And part of the journey of especially a show like Cobra Kai, this doesn't just go for Cobra Kai; it's for everything. But because Cobra Kai is so dear to us. We love the ride. We love the journey. Even something as simple as Eli winning the tournament. Yes, we have our thoughts as fans about it. But in the moment, we were losing our shit. We were like, whoa, imagine that gets leaked out. You ruin it. You take away the experience. Even leaking something as simple as, let's say, Danny going to the store to buy groceries. I don't know why I use that as an example. That taints potentially a part of it. You'll still enjoy it, but not as much as you maybe would have done.
Especially it's the last season, guys. Like, come on, man. Last season. Can we not do this again where we're like,
please, for the love of God. Because we know what's going to happen. There will be an early screening. Someone will go to it because, again, it's Sony. There'll be an early screening. Someone will go to it. They'll record something. I swear to God, Jimmy, Jim, John, or whatever your name is, Billy Blob, Bog, whatever. If you've got a clip and you're about to post it, please take a good look at yourself in the mirror and go, is it worth it to go viral for one scene that's blurry, which when the show will be released next week?
Robbie Miguel.
Wait for next week.
Robbie Miguel fight last season got leaked. I mean, got leaked like a week in advance.
RJ, what was that head turn?
The whole fight a week in advance.
Yeah.
Like I was like, dude.
So you might as well watch it now because, like,
I'd already seen the pictures. I'm like, dude, what the hell, man? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Just
it's like the thing with the
surprisingly, like with season 5, I avoid spoilers, man. Like I don't know how.
That was the worst though. The No Way Home shit where they actually leaked Toby, Andrew, and Tom.
Thanks, John Campia.
Hold on.
I've ever
got to the story.
That's by an official source.
What the hell is wrong with you? I'm really asking.
We were on the call, and I just said I was onto it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And they were like, "What?"
Thanks, John Campia.
Want to know? And
that's by an official person.
Yeah, and that's like when people say, "Well, stay off the internet." I'm like, bro. I shouldn't.
You can't physically do that.
I shouldn't have to do that.
Myself because people have no self-control.
Like, bro, the way the algorithm works, that shit pops up. If you just
look
double
at standard is that? It's okay for them to do it, but I have to do that.
Dude, and John Campia is one of the big creators. You should be ashamed of yourself, sir. You've been 30 years plus in the game. Pathetic.
It was like, yeah, we all knew that they were in it. Obviously, yes, we did. But
we don't want to see them.
I don't want to see that shit. I don't.
And people were complaining.
No. What was worse? What was worse with John Campia? This fool straight up denied it. He said like, well, I didn't know. I just saw the. I was like, I saw the watermark, and I just thought that this wasn't real, so I just posted it out.
No Way Home, like that whole thing was happening. I remember saying on the stream, on air, and I'll say it again. If you ever do that, look, do I think you're a bit of an asshole for doing it? Yeah, for sure. But own the fact that you did it. Just apologize and just say, look, it's on me. I made a mistake.
Bad judgment call.
And just go, oh no, but RJ meant to pass me the butter, and I scooped
I'm
it.
Scared, bro. I'm scared for Deadpool 3 because that's gonna be annoying as shit. I already know it's gonna be annoying.
There's already
don't read a Variety review. Do not read.
Yeah,
Variety just spoils whole like they spoil everything they review. They spoil Cobra Kai.
It's not little guys like myself or you guys anymore. It's official, approved, accredited.
I think it was Variety that did this. Didn't they literally spoil that Robbie trained Kenny? I was like, wait, I was like, what the hell? Like they just came out and said that. I was like,
it was somebody.
Somebody did that, and they were like,
someone did that.
They literally spoil things that happen in this season in a spoiler-free review.
Yeah.
And again, the spoiler.
You got people writing articles that don't care about the source material at all.
Like, we've got people out there that see the spoilers and they don't show any self-control, and they go, you know what? This would make a great thing for me to post.
And
now,
being the one
that
says, no, I'm not going to post it, you might actually save some people.
Yeah.
To be fair to the people that write stuff like Screen Rant and like Variety, most people don't read articles anyway. So like, you know, like I can give them a break on that because I'm gonna be 100.
That's their job. They gotta write what their editor tells them to write. So like some of you people on social media that hunt down leaks and post that shit, you're an asshole.
We know someone like that. So leakers who go out their way and post stuff, right, and all that shit, I just want to say you are the devil.
Problem.
Okay, you are actually a problem. Okay, you really are. Like, I'm sorry, it really grinds my bollocks up the wall. Like, it really annoys me. I genuinely hate it. I could not imagine. Like, Danny, I know you're just a film guy and whatever, and you're not like a creative like us, but even you would feel this kind of pain. Same way as you with your script writing or your directing prospects, or me with my acting journey. If you're working on a project that you're investing your heart and soul into,
you're trying to keep it.
Regardless if people like it or not, or even if it's something like Kenobi or something like The Sopranos, who cares? Regardless of what people perceive it as, you're putting your all into it. And then someone just goes, oh, I'm going to leak all this. You're an asshole. You're genuinely an asshole.
Now the story could be perfect and it's not going to hit the way you intended it to because people know about it beforehand. Yeah. So, like,
it's like making it to the end of the rainbow and knowing that the leprechauns run away with the money.
Especially when you've already done it, you wrote it, it's done, and now it's like, well, and then it leaks 1 week before release, and you're just like, well, shit.
And you actually turn people off. Like, I think we all have like friends that we know or people that we know. When they see a leak, they go, what's the point in watching it now? People will say, oh, that's sad, that's pathetic. No, some people like the ride. They don't want to know anything. And that's fair. But when you get a leaker that goes, I don't want to have any integrity, here's what I'm doing.
And there's a lot in the Cobra Kai community. Not just Cobra Kai community, but every community. But mostly in our community, unfortunately.
No self-restraint at all. It's like, oh my god, I've got a video I can post. It's like, have some class.
That's why you've never seen us cover leaks on this channel. Like, we never have.
You're never gonna do it
once. Before like I established like you guys coming on as guests for Kings of, I did it once, and I felt dirty afterwards. I felt like I was crying in the freaking shower, kind of dirty. I was like, I feel awful.
Saltburn.
Damn.
No, because literally it was a cheap way to get views. Like I fell victim to, oh, I've got to go viral, I've got to get views, I've got to cover something because I know everyone else is talking about it.
Look, if you wanna find leaks for yourself and that doesn't damage your hype, that's fine. Like,
that's fine, good for you.
Just don't bring other people into it against their will. If they don't want to know, don't tell them. Don't be an ass. Don't be an asshole, dude.
And again, it's different sometimes. You could have a project where, let's say, you may know some leaks going in, but you know that the movie is going to be chock full of surprises anyway. And you're expecting some of those things, and it's just exciting to talk about them. That's fair.
Yeah.
But for majority of people, they don't want to know.
Like, the kind of information I get is like, who might direct this? Who might direct that? To me, that's not really a leak. That's just like, that's news. I like
that information.
That's just news. Like, it doesn't affect the movie at all.
Yeah.
But like the story, I don't want to know about the story. I don't want to know that. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is the last go. This is the last go around, guys.
This is the last. Like, please, I'm begging people, just please have some restraint. That's all I'm. That's all I'm asking.
One more question in the audience, guys. One more. Anybody else? One more question.
Right. Would you guys like to pick a comment in the chat or anything? Like anything that sticks out?
I'm hungry.
Go eat.
I will after the stream.
Anything that sticks out to you guys at all?
I can't see anything.
No really questions.
It's pretty much like a full consensus of like what we've been saying, really.
Someone said they want Robbie to win, and I think he kind of has to win.
He has to.
He has to.
Yeah.
For the story.
And also, I've been asked why I haven't spoke much on Cobra Kai is because I'm a little Cobra Kai out, like I said, but also I've said it a million times. It's Robbie's time. How many times
can I say nothing?
Also, like, here's another thing. We're also waiting for like trailers and maybe like we're at that stage. They're filming it.
Listen, your boy is trying to pull anything that he can. Okay, I'm trying here. I'm trying. You know what I'm saying?
I'll see you after the stream, but you know it.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Jacob. Like, there's not much more to say. We
repeated ourselves a lot, bro.
After season 5, there's not much theories that we can really.
All I'm just gonna say is the actress that's playing Sensei Kim is literally spoiling Julie Pierce being in the show because like she put down $1 million baby. I want to fight the $1 million baby. I'm like, okay, like
with Sony now doing what they've done with the brand as a whole, don't be surprised if you see another like a spin-off movie with Julie and Tori and Sam or something. Don't be shocked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be shocked. You know, we're in the age of that now. But I think this is a good position to sort of round it off.
Yeah.
Everyone, give a massive shout out to Adam for appearing on the stream today. Thank you, dude. Much love, my fellow Scottish Brewski. A massive round of applause to the White Ranger, and also a round of applause to Adam as the Red Ranger, of course. A round of applause to the Green Ranger, Danny Watkins. To the Cinnamomba. I was gonna say the Ranger, but then you know,
I'm the Black.
What, Black Ranger?
I'll own it.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
And a round of applause to the Titanium Ranger with the black and white background and the gray conductor's hat.
It's gray.
It's gray. Gray's anatomy. You're the real hero, sir. Till all are one. NASA's finest. They're the real heroes. I don't know. I heard that in a movie once or something.
They're not the real heroes.
You're the real hero. I completely just lost my train of thought massively with that. Sheesh. Oh, there you go. Leakers. I'm a big believer in karma. So if you spoil someone else's enjoyment, I'm just going to play this clip. I know he aims the pen in a different way, but the point's still valid.
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
The fact that he does it backwards bothers me so much now that I see it.
Yeah, now it's been said, I can't unsee it.
I can't unsee it.
But for a post-credit scene, RJ, let's talk about the one thing we've all wanted to talk about.
All right, let's talk about Gail Bedecker.
He was a good man, good chemist, and I liked him. No, you didn't. I'm sorry. While watching this show, like it's just the way Walt runs to the RV and then this scene.
What the hell is wrong with you? I'm really asking.
Now this is very shoddy work, Pinkman. I'm actually embarrassed for you.
Yeah, that's right. Telephone tough guy. Put Vito on a phone.
Oh, marvelous. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Appreciate you. Make sure you smash the like button if you haven't. There will be a stream on Saturday that I'll be doing. More will be revealed on that one soon. So we're on 12 likes. Whoever hasn't liked, let's see if we can get this stream to 15 likes. Appreciate all of you. Shout out to the GOAT. Shout out to the Cinnamomba. Shout out to MMA King Kreese Jr. Shout out to myself. And shout out to each and every one of you. We will see you next week. Next week. It's a shame that this isn't for you, RJ. Because the audio. I'll give you guys the context.
And we're still live.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. Whoa. Okay, I'm not ending it like that. That looks wrong. That's the wrong message. Sorry.
White Ranger supremacy.
I didn't mean to do it.
White Ranger supremacy.
You mean Supreme? So he's talking about Supreme Tacos.
Why hasn't it ended yet?
Where's my
Taco Supremes?
Oh, you come for the king?
Where's my
honestly, this is a StreamYard problem. When I click it, it's just circling like this. So it could just
the Taco Supremes.
End at any moment, right now.
The white taco supremes.
I'm gonna try to time it.